We're going to look at dating app profiles and use this as a framework for dating advice for men, especially young men who are coming into that dating pool, right out of high school, perhaps even in high school, college age. But even if you're in your 30s, the advice is going to be the same. How to navigate modern dating in 2026, the things to look out for, the good, the bad, the positive, the negative. And this is something that I would do as if you were one of my close friends, a family member, younger brother, younger son. What to look out for, the good, the bad. One of your friends like, hey, what do you think of this girl? So it's that type of advice. Because oftentimes we do not see the same things when it comes to women, dating, how they say things, what they say, their interests, what they're looking for. Sometimes it could be deceptive or confusing for a lot of guys. So this is the first part of the video. It's about an hour long. We're going to look at Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and then we're going to do YouTube content, reacting to YouTube dating content, manosphere content, red pill, men's self-improvement, all that with the Whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit, Michael Sartain, guys, and some random dating videos that we find. And it's a whole package of just simply dating advice. Because you don't want to listen to a woman when it comes to dating advice, because her dating experience is completely different. The way they're raised, what they're taught, how they view the world, and how the world views them. Because most girls will go, even if they're not even attractive and overweight, they'll go to a bar, club, any type of event, get in for free. Drinks paid for, food paid for from other guys. So they don't understand what it takes to attract, right? Because they're the ones that are being chased. So what can you do to attract women? What can you do to where they look at you, where they even come to you? So we'll start with Bumble. So we'll do Bumble, and then we'll do Tinder, and then we'll do Hinge. All right, so she's 30, a virtual assistant. She's Nigerian, based in Nigeria, who loves learning, guiding others, making impact. All right. Ethical income. So that's kind of odd. I would be, because everything she said is good. She wants genuine people, personal growth. But to build a steady, ethical income, no, she's a virtual assistant. But ethical income, it's odd, whatever. So she's active, which is good, doesn't really drink, doesn't smoke, wants kids. She's a Christian, all good things. But she should be looking for marriage, not open to seeing where things go. So I would be like, why are you 30 years old? Obviously, you say you want kids and you're a Christian, but you're open to see where things go. Take a stance and say, hey, no, I want a long-term relationship. I want marriage. Not just be open to whatever. Really stand firm in what you want. All right, so her causes and communities, this is something important to look at because this is going to tell you a little bit about her ideology. So environmentalism, so that could be something as simple as don't pollute, don't throw trash on the ground, which is great. Or it could be climate change, global warming, that type of nonsense. Volunteering, that's good. Immigrant rights, that's something also would be, what does she mean by that? Because immigrants have plenty of rights. She's not overweight, so that's good. She's happiest when you share remote job opportunities with me, virtual assistant, data analyst, or anything think I'd be a good fit for. So yeah, she's looking for a job, ironically, but dating. I'm hoping you recommend jobs for me. So clearly she's not looking to date. This is just like LinkedIn, but she's sexualizing herself to get a job. Interesting. She was smart in doing that. She's showing off her body as a means to get a job. So if you're looking to date, obviously this is not even worth your time. This is a waste of time for dating, so that's an X. All right, so she's 18, not overweight, good. She's looking for short-term, maybe long-term, depending on who you are. So this is a message, this is an important message because a lot of guys they don't understand that women will treat other guys differently. For example, they may say they want long-term, but if they see a guy who's really attractive to them, they'll hook up, they'll do something casual. That's why she says, well, I'm looking for short-term, maybe long-term. It just depends on who you are. If you are truly attractive to her, she will do whatever you want. Short-term, long-term, hookup, relationship, whatever. If you're average, slightly above average, then she'll be the one that dictates that. So if you want short-term, if you want to if your goal is, hey, I'm not really trying to settle down right now. I want to work a lot. I'm working on myself. I'm developing myself mentally, physically, spiritually. I don't want to spend money and time dating. Although I think you can always find time for that, but if you are dead set on that, not dating, and you just want to casually date or hook up with girls, then it is a competition because her just one, she's younger. Two, she doesn't have kids, so she's not a single mom and she's not overweight. Because you have to realize the majority of women in 2026 are overweight. It's just a fact. You look outside, 60 to 65% of women are overweight, and at least half are single moms. So if a girl is not overweight, doesn't have kids, she's gonna have the majority of guys reaching out to her, especially if she's saying she wants something short term. She's open to whatever. So you need to understand that thousands of guys are gonna like this girl's profile. So what can you do to be the guy that she chooses? What can you be, and how can you show to her that you're different? And that's physical attraction, that's first. Whether it's in person or online, they look at you physically first. They don't see your personality, they don't see your humor, they don't see how just great and nice you are, everything your mom says, your sister says. You're such a nice guy, you're so great. None of that matters if you're not physically attractive. You have to get her first, then your personality can come out. So you cannot be overweight. That's just automatic. So you cannot be overweight. You need to go to the gym every single day. You lift weights, you run, you eat enough food to build muscle. Can't be eating 1,400 calories a day. Eat enough food, 2,400 calories a day. Eat the right foods, eat clean, ground beef, whole eggs, a lot of rice, potatoes. And you'll be amazed at what you'll look like in a year of consistency. So then once you have the physical part down, you need to be developing yourself mentally. Read books on various topics. Go to school for certain subjects. You can really find value in understanding the world through sociology or even psychology, but don't plan on making that a career. Use it as simply as a tool to further your development, or even philosophy, something of interest. And then you can have these conversations with girls on dates and be interesting because you're going to carry the conversation for the first couple weeks, if not months, because most girls, not all, but most haven't developed themselves because they don't need to develop their personalities. As long as they're not overweight and not annoying, they're going to always have a guy. So they're never going to have a wide variety of topics to talk about. So if you can demonstrate to her your knowledge and your competence, that's going to go a long way. And then your spiritual development, once you have checked off these three things, she will choose you. Okay. So if you want that competition, it starts with the lowest hanging fruit, which is going to the gym, eating right every single day, while reading books, going to school for something, learning different skills, being interesting. It's not going to happen in a couple weeks or a couple months. So don't be down on yourself. Don't be like, well, it's going to take me a year or two to get to that point. What's the point of even trying? Then you're never going to get to it. You start today. There's no right moment. You're like, oh, I'll wait for the right moment. Or I'll wait for this. I'll wait for that. No, you start right now. If you're not motivated, it's because you haven't developed that consistency, because everything is momentum based. If you've been lazy, you're going to feel lethargic and lazy. Until you break out of that cycle, then it's going to become, wow, I feel good every day. I actually want to go to the gym. I want to go for a run. I want to eat right. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen after a couple of days, couple of weeks. But once you get that feedback after a couple of months, that delayed gratification, then you understand how important that discipline is, because motivation is going to fade. You're not going to be motivated every single day. Just like no one's motivated to go to work every day. You don't jump out of bed and you're skipping to your car and driving to work, because that's not motivation. It's discipline, but also you have to make money. So if you don't feel motivated, you drink caffeine, coffee, energy drink, whatever, to get your ass out of bed and just do it. You shouldn't waste any time. You wake up early, 4:35, drink some caffeine, you're out the door, 5:15, 5:20, not wasting time. You're not spending hours, oh, let me wake up, let me get ready. No, you get straight to it. So yeah, younger girl, not overweight, no kids. She'll have thousands of guys reaching out to her, so you need to stand out from the bunch. And it's easy. Don't think of it as a demoralizing thing. It's like, oh, well, it's me versus this whole city or the whole world, or, she's going to have guys from across the country. It's a global marketplace with dating. All that is true, but most guys are worthless in the sense of They're overweight. They're weird. They're awkward. They have nothing to talk about. They have these perverse addictions to gambling, to weed, to alcohol, to video games. So if you can cut all those things out, you're top 15% already. It's that easy. It's never been easier to be an above average guy than in 2026. You're giving me a lot of Africans. This is the second African chick out of 3. So she's Rennie, so soft-hearted, playful. She's grounded. She likes good food, laughter. Okay. She wants someone genuine, serious. So she's very straightforward. And by her saying, I want someone who's genuine, who's serious about building something real. All right. And that's advice for you as guys is just be honest with what you want. Don't say I want something long term, but you just want to sleep around. Or don't just say you want something short term, but you really want something long term. You're doing yourself a disservice by misleading yourself and the girl. You're wasting time. You'll be surprised how being honest will get you further. She doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. That's good. She's 6 feet tall, so you could, have some athletes if you want to just use her for that purpose. So I want you to tell me, what is the difference between a long-term relationship and a life partner? So if you're looking at a dating app profile, or you meet somebody, like, hey, what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a long-term relationship and or a life partner. Then it's a life relationship. I do not believe in partnership. So to me, if I see partner, it's automatically disqualified. Because she could have put I'm looking for marriage. That's an option. I'm looking for a long-term relationship, marriage. Because life partner, I'm telling you, I know you don't think this way, but if they put partner because they want to be your partner in the sense of like, okay, we're both the CEO, we're both the boss. I'm telling you, with a lot of girls, that's what it means. Because you want your girl, she needs to be your little helper as God designed. It's biblical. And I know for a lot of women, it's hard to hear. That's why so many girls go outside of the Bible, because as soon as they find out that it's God, man, woman, man's the head, woman's the body, they're already like, wow. But all this stuff I see on social media, TikTok, or when I'm even in high school, college, all this propaganda, I was told I'm the prize. I'm the boss. I do all these things. I don't need the man. So it's counter. But so God made woman to be man's little helper. Which is why when you think of it this way, what careers do most women go into? A lot of them are in cleaning services, right? Cleaning services, they are. A lot of them are in housekeeping. It's like the overwhelming majority. A lot of them are servers in service industry. And then the funniest one is they're all in childcare, early daycare, health care, early childhood care, senior citizen care when they're about to die. All those things I just listed are what they did in the home. They took care of the kids, they cleaned, they cooked, but they got exported out. So it's just ironic when you think of it that way, when you try to understand biology. And we really are biologically meant to do certain things. So her interests, so spa weekends, that's kind of questionable. Ambition, that's good. Being family oriented, that's something you always want to see, because then that tells you, all right, she values the family. And clearly, let's not be coy about this. She's showing off her hips and her ass. This is just obvious. And her favorite way to do nothing is K-dramas. That's a no. All right. So this is where it's bad. Even though you're like, hey, you know what? She's 28. She's not too old. She wants something real. She's tall. She doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. All right, I can do that. She's family oriented. I'm maybe an ass guy, I like hips. Whatever you're thinking in your mind, as soon as you see this, it's done. It's over with. You move on. Her causes and communities are feminism. So it's automatically done. It's over with, because there's no point. She's going to always contradict you. She's going to argue with you. She's going to combat you. So there's no point. And it's unfortunate. So that's an X. And then it's so interesting. Like look at the dynamic. So this girl's traveling from, I don't know if it says, it doesn't say, but look how she's dressed. So we'll assume she's probably coming from somewhere overseas, perhaps Asia, Africa. Look how she's dressed. Very modest, extremely modest. Clothed. From head to toe, she's clothed. Even when she's showing off her ass, she's clothed. Can you see? Clothing, modest. We'll keep going, okay? Completely clothed. This is a Eastern girl. We always hear about westernized women, Western women. So this is an Eastern woman. It's very clear. And then we have, bam, this is the modern woman in 2026. Dressed half naked in lingerie, tatted up. She's pierced her lips, wearing chains like some rapper. If you ever want to understand the difference between, Western women, Eastern women, this is it. It's a disgrace. And she's a single mom too. And a Christian, wow. All right. So dressing in like a harlot, wearing lingerie. She's tatted up like some dude in prison. She's got the chain, the piercing like she's some rapper. But look at this. Look how she's dressed in public. The lingerie, the short skirt, the skin, the cleavage. And she's a single mom and a Christian. So would her kids be proud of this? Would she be happy to show her kids this picture or how she's dressed in public? And the sad thing is, half of the women would say yes, because she's empowered. She's showing that she has no shame. She's confident. That's the subversive language that some of these single moms will use to cope. But you can't cope this being a Christian. Christianity teaches you modesty. Okay? So you would assume that this is a harlot the way she's dressed. And her being self-employed, I think we know what that means. While having the cross tatted on you, while being a single mom, a self-proclaimed Christian, dressing like a complete harlot, lingerie in public, short skirt, tattoos, cleavage out. Come on now. And she's a vibe girl, of course. Ooh. While wearing the cross too, of all things, like don't even wear the cross. Then you have to worry about it. Just do not wear the cross while adorning yourself with piercings and tattoos, because the body is a sacred temple. And this is not treating your body with respect. But if you ever wanted to understand what the modern woman is in 2026, and I'll add to that, the modern Christian woman, this is her. Dressing like this in public, tatted up like a guy, piercings, the cleavage, the cross. I'm surprised she's not burning. The modern Christian woman in 2026, ladies and gentlemen. I present you Exhibit A. This is Exhibit A. What a disgrace. But this is what modern Christianity has promoted. The liberalization and feminization of Christianity has allowed and actually promoted this type of degeneracy. When you really think of how far some of the churches have fallen, they actually are neutral on abortion. They're neutral on marijuana consumption. They're neutral on divorce. They're neutral on modesty. They're neutral on female pastorship. It is a slippery slope. And I'm always hesitant when a girl's got a bucket hat on and showing cleavage in the very first picture. It's not showing any type of self-respect or humility. Yes, I'm real. Okay. So by her saying like, oh, yes, I'm real, here's my Instagram, what that tells me and what should tell you is she has dozens, if not hundreds of guys asking like, wow, you're so hot. Are you even real? Just simply gaslighting her for no reason. She's average at best. And she's sexualizing herself in the first picture for attention. Y'all need to understand. When she dresses like this on the internet, it's for attention. Clearly showing off her body. And she has her Instagram. So this is automatically an X, a no. It doesn't matter what the rest of the profile says, what she says to you, it's a no. But let's go look at this Instagram, huh? And you can tell she fantasizes about her following count, which is why she put her Instagram in that bio. Because she has, rest in peace, 260,000 at IG. You need to understand a lot of these girls care more about their social media following than their real life. They would rather have a higher social media following than more friends in real life, a real relationship, having kids. And look how clear this is. She has the OF, she's got the links. Come on now. Of course she does OF. Of course she's fantasizing and fetishizes her following count. And the hypocrisy saying she wants long term, but she's open to whatever. She wants playfulness, right? I'm sure. She really wants to play. Yeah. So clearly, this is a sex worker. It's just obvious that look at the tattoos, how they're positioned, the pose, the posture, and there's the proof. There's that right there. The link, the OF. So she's a self-proclaimed harlot, online prostitute. I do not care if you think she's your dream girl, the hottest girl ever. This is a waste of time. There is a reason why she puts her Instagram. She wants you to follow her. She is never going to follow you back. She wants you to comment and like on every single post. She'll never return that. But even if she does, you're never going to take her on a date. You may think you're the greatest guy, and you might be. Like, oh, I'll treat you right. You comment on her Instagram, oh, I'll treat you right. I'll do this right. I'll take care of you, baby. It's all for attention. She wants your attention. She's a succubus. Do not do it. It's just pointless. But some of you guys will just do it because you're pathetic and lonely. She wants something real and long term, to be honest, okay? Failed marriage at 22 is crazy. So she wants somebody who is grounded, honest, and kind. So this is going to tell you that the last guy she was with was not honest. Either he was truly a liar and deceitful, or she perceived that he was rude, okay? All right, so you know what? This could be, so there's two sides to this. Her being so straightforward with what she wants, that she wants somebody to build a beautiful future with. She wants something real, long-term. Guarantee you she wants kids. Even though she says she's open to it, it's because she's still hurt from her last marriage. So if you're the right guy and you want kids, she'll want kids too. The downside to this is she's going to have her guard up. She's going to have trauma. She's going to have baggage. And that's the problem with women is they carry things into their present. She needs to really take time to get over this, to get over her past, because it's just going to hurt her in the future, because she's going to have her guard up, and it's not going to take a real man to break it down. You shouldn't have to. You're not her therapist, her psychologist, her pastor, her priest, her father, her uncle, her brother. She needs to come already ready to date for something serious, not to hold on to things from the past or be like, wow, like maybe I'm not ready, or, just trying to rebound it. So there's two sides to that. Either it can go really well and she's completely moved on from that and she knows exactly what she wants, or she's going to hold on to some type of resentment, some type of baggage and trauma from the past, which is why it's always better you want to find a girl with the least amount of experiences as possible across the board. Sexual experiences, personal experiences, financial experiences, dating experiences, relationship experiences, life experiences, because that's just going to build her up more in the sense of you not being able to excite her, because she's like, hey, I already did this for myself. I already did that years ago. I've already been here. I did this. So you want the girl with no experience at all, ideally, or the least amount possible. The least amount of relationships possible, 1 or 2, 3, the lowest possible, and obviously the least sexual partners as possible, because they're always going to carry trauma and baggage from every single encounter, because girls are different than guys. They need that emotional connection, so they're always going to have that emotional connection to any type of guy they interact with at that level. But her being 22 could really turn around, because she's still young enough. And if she's only been with one guy, say just that one marriage, then sure, this is a great DIY project. And she doesn't have kids yet. She's not overweight, so those are great indicators. Not really a fan of that blazer. Seems humble. So yeah, I would go for that. So we go from sweet, innocent, cute, modest to the 2026 feminist liberal. Oh, of course, she's a witch. How ironic. She uses pronouns, so automatically it's a no for me, because she's mentally insane. The hair, the witchcraft, she thinks way too highly of herself. Like, you're not a magician, settle down. Oh yeah. Definitely an X. And if you're a guy that's into that type of thing, you need to really question yourself. Like, what are you doing? Oh, wow. So she's 37, healthcare consultant. That's concerning. Does she have kids? If she doesn't put that, she definitely has kids. If she's in her 30s and healthcare, that's just a given for sure. If she's in her late 30s working in healthcare, she's got kids, especially if it's not put in the profile. So she embraces soft and graceful lifestyle and if she uses soft and graceful, just move on. It's going to be she doesn't drink or smoke, that's amazing. And she's active, works out, awesome, perfect. Exploring new cities, that's an L. So her dream is to explore the world, pour love into meaningful causes. Okay. All right. All right. So if you want kids in a long-term relationship to marriage, this is not going to work. No way you can explore the world and have kids in a successful marriage. All right. Pour love into meaningful causes. So what about the meaningful cause of starting a family? Starting a family and finding a wife is the greatest cause. That is the most meaningful cause you can have. So these girls think traveling and exploring the world, experiences, spontaneous trips, adventures, that's the most meaningful thing that they can do. That's what they really think. When the reality is the most meaningful thing girls can do, and guys, is start a family, find a wife. That is how you truly become the most fulfilled version of yourself, is by having a family and a husband or wife. Yeah, so this is just simply, she's self-interested. You know, she read, shopping, watching a show, the gym. It's all about herself, traveling. And what is the point of sexualizing yourself? So you're saying you want a guy so you want something long-term, emotional maturity, you want something genuine, but this is how you present yourself. You want something genuine, serious, and long-term, but this is how you present yourself. Let's not fool each other. You're sexualizing yourself. You're showing off your cleavage and your breasts on purpose. Like, come on, just be honest about this. Yet you want a genuine guy, right? What type of genuine guys are you going to attract like this? All right, so first picture, she's traveling. That's an L. And she's 37. Come on. Oh, then she's what is this? No. Look, I know there are some guys out there who have danced with the devil. We'll call that. I know there are some guys out there who have been down bad on their luck, unsuccessful with women, maybe questioning themselves, and they dance with the devil. You should never do that. God will direct you in the right way. And I truly believe if you are into this perversive nature, you've been consumed by propaganda, the devil, your hormones are off, you have no testosterone left. Think of the diet you consume, the media you consume, the environment you surround yourself in. This is why you may want to dance with the devil. Clean yourself up, eat right for a year, be active every single day, change your environment, your social surroundings, consume the right media. You'll change your attraction quickly and your hormones quickly, your mindset quickly. 37 years old, okay. Does not want kids, but is a Catholic. Those are not compatible. Religion teaches you the procreation is number one. So you can tell she's very soft in the face, so she's probably overweight. So the best thing she can do is to lose weight, hit the gym every day, eat right, and she'll expand her dating pool, clearly. 38 years old, man, we're getting some oldies. She went to college in Boca Raton, Florida, lives in Columbus, or she's a straight traveler, huh? All right. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, awesome, active, perfect. But she's 38, wanting kids. Yeah, so clearly she bought the lie. She went to college, she's traveled, she's 38 now, and she wants kids. It's going to be difficult because the younger guy is going to go for the younger girl. Why would a 30-year-old guy go for a 38-year-old girl to have kids with? Especially if you want 3 or 4 kids. Just being honest. If you're a young girl out there in your 20s, even early 30s at best, Don't be like her in the sense of wanting kids, but you're 38, about to turn 39. Okay, she bought the feminist lie, the college lie, the liberal lie, the worry about yourself lie, because now she's 38 wanting kids. And it's sad. Obviously, you wish the best for her, but all right. Hopefully, you're also really into traveling. No. Actually, I don't feel bad for her now because she's actively choosing this. So she's 38, wants kids. No, you cannot really be into traveling and want kids. So this should say, hopefully, you're also really into starting a family, not traveling. That's what you need to change this to. So hopefully, you're also really into starting a family, not traveling. No. And of course, every picture she's in a different city. So she does this to herself. So this is very, very, very important for men and women, right? Obviously, the younger women that think traveling is the gateway to happiness and a successful life, that traveling is the most meaningful thing you can do because you've been taught at a young age, your own happiness is what matters. Worry about yourself first. Get a job, travel, have experiences, go have fun, adventure. Okay, then guess what? You're going to be 38 years old wanting kids, but also still trying to find someone that's into traveling. They're not compatible. It's contradictory. Man, this is a great profile to really understand the modern woman in 2026, most definitely. She's been psyoped by traveling while still wanting kids at 38 is crazy. Here we go again. 38 years old. She knows exactly what she wants now because she's 38. God, family, gentleman, humble, love family. You got to be protective. And she's a single mom. The demands are crazy. Look, I'm sorry, you cannot be 38 years old and now know what you want and now have God and a gentleman and want someone protective. And of course, she wants someone who's adventurous. Look at all the travel emojis. Look at all the experience and adventure emojis. It is so sad what women are just brainwashed into thinking. You're 38 years old. Now you're like, you know what? I know what I want now. I'm 38 and I'm a single mom who's a Christian that wants a guy to protect me now and to go on all these adventures. No. If you're a guy out there who does not have kids, you do not date a girl like this. You need to go out there, start your own family, have your own kids. Now, if you're a single dad, you have your own kids already, then sure, go for that. But this is not going to be fun at all. Because she's telling you, it's just crazy. She should be 28 saying, I know what I want. I want God and a family while not having kids yet. That's what she should have said 10 years ago. If you are a Christian man that does not have kids, do not feel bad for her. You cannot save her. You're not doing a godly duty. Your godly duty is to start your own family, not be with some 38-year-old single mom who's finally figured out what she wants. Nope. And I wish her the best. I hope she can find the right guy, but no. Don't fall for this. All right, this is the last one for Bumble, then we'll go to Tinder. The irony, she likes traveling while in travel mode, 38 years old, and she's a Christian. Of course, she doesn't have kids. Why would she have kids? Because she likes to travel. She loves traveling, but she's a Christian who does not have kids. Of course. This is going to be your outcome. If you're a young girl in your 20s and early 30s and you love to travel and love to adventure, love experiences, this is going to be you, 38, no kids, and a Christian. So shocking. So shocking. So surprising. How could you be so naive? Yeah, so her dream is to build something meaningful that makes a real difference. Something meaningful, right? As a Christian, that meaning comes from God. That meaning comes from starting a family, husband, wife. That's the meaning. The most meaningful thing you can do, get married, have kids, serve God. She doesn't say any of that though, does she? What she says is She likes to travel. And she's a Christian that does not have kids. All right, we'll look at Tinder. This is that single mom archetype right here. Let's see. So you cannot see her age, but she is 38 and still figuring out. So that right there, automatically no. That's an X because she's 38, still figuring it out. How can you be in your late 30s not knowing what you want? You really do not have that type of mental capacity to decide what you want. And of course, she's a single mom. Look, I told you, this is that single mom archetype. This is central casting for being a single mom. This is single mom central casting. Just the build, the frame, the aesthetic. Oh, and she's a boss. Oh, wow. 38 years old, still can't even decide what you want in a relationship. And you're a single mom who's a lady, a boss. No. Another single mom archetype right here. 39 years old. Can't even, this is why these girls are on dating apps and single. Because they're 38, 39, pushing 40 and don't even know what they want. They're still figuring it out. They're open to exploring. Quests? No, you're not like a wizard. You're not in Lord of the Rings. You're not questing. So this chick is 28. Long term, okay. Oh my God. Spontaneous road trips, of course. My God. And of course, she's a single mom who loves spontaneous road trips, because why not? What single mom does not love traveling, spontaneous road trips, experiences, binge watching shows because you're so tired? This chick is what, 38? And this is a stripper. This is a midnight ballerina, you could say. Look at that. Look, I grew up in Vegas, and you you date strippers, you meet strippers from like high school, like go into stripping, college, friends. So this is stripper aesthetic. This is stripper central casting. She's central casting for stripping. Of course, 38 years old, still figuring it out, because why not? Why not be almost 40 and you still don't even know what you want? This is why these girls are single, pushing 40. She's so outgoing. Wow, that's such a great trait to have. Look, as a man looking to date a girl, the worst trait she can have is being outgoing. That's like being a feminist. It's that bad. I don't care, man. Like, if you're some dude, it's like, wow, like, she's hot. That's what you're thinking? No. This is a nightmare. This is a headache. If you're from Vegas, you've dated a stripper, you know someone who's dated a stripper, it's never a good experience. It's just sex. That's it. There's nothing fun about dating a lunatic. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So she is 19 years old. Okay. Still figuring it out. That's fine. Look, she's 19. She can still be figuring it out. That's expected. But if you're pushing 40, still figuring it out, open to exploring, there's something wrong. That's just not right. Take some control of your life. Nope. Never. I don't care if you find her attractive. No. As soon as you see anything about passport stamps, traveling, nope. There's no way she's real. Because this is straight delusion. If you ever want to understand, do you think women live in delusion? She's central casting for delusion. Her dream job is to be a mommy and travel. So her about me should say, let's get married and have kids, or looking for a husband to start a family. It's passport stamps. So she really wants to just travel. And it's sad because she should be starting to have a family soon because she's still young. Like, you want to start a family in your early 20s, find the right guy and start young. Don't be like these 30-year-olds pushing 40 trying to have kids because they were your age, they were 19 and chose to collect passport stamps to go travel. Now they're 38, 39, 40 trying to have kids. Guarantee you if they could go back to your age at 19, Nope. They're looking for long-term relationships, marriage, looking for a husband to start a family, not passport stamps, not traveling. All right, 37 years old, Miss America, the tattoos, it's just too masculine. Just not, it's just trashy, like. So she's self-describing herself as a mountain and saltwater. All right. Yeah, so she just wants somebody to adventure with. Outdoors one weekend, hiking the next, the beach the next. Tall, tattooed. She says those things like they're good. No guy cares if you're tall, and tattoos make you look trashy. No kids, that's good. That's probably why you always want to adventure. You want these experiences because you don't have kids. The perks of dating her are always a built-in adventure partner who keeps life exciting. Women like this are never going to be satisfied with their lives. There's nothing you can do to change that. They're going to need this constant stimulation and excitement, which is why they need to make life exciting. Why is your life not just exciting already? Like, I love my life. My life is great. And I don't adventure every single weekend. I don't travel every single week. I don't do spontaneous things, but man, my life is exciting. I accomplish a lot. And she drinks most nights, so there's no way you want to take this girl seriously long term. Not even close. The adventure thing, no, man. 32. Single mom. Single mom archetype, I'm telling you, those tattoos and that body type. Single mom, there it is. Mom first. Ooh, tattoos and spontaneous travel. Show me a single mom that doesn't have tattoos and loves to spontaneously travel. I'll wait. Show me a single mom who does not have tattoos and does not love to travel. They all do. It's the same archetype of woman. That's what you avoid. If she loves the tattoos, they loves to spontaneously travel. And she's a mom first, so that's good for her kid. That's how she should be as a parent. But as a guy in a relationship, you're supposed to be first. So if she's a single mom, she's going to put her kids first, then maybe her career second, and you're lucky if you're third. So automatically, it's not even worth it for you because she has to put you first. A true woman, a true relationship puts you first. That's what God has designed it for. And she uses pronouns. Wow, so nice. 40 years old. Can't even decide what you want. Do you want long term? Do you want short? What? There's that word again, spontaneous. And she's listed. Oh, so I want to live somewhere that's very social, spontaneous, paddleboarding, get out. And when a girl puts family plans for not sure yet, she does want kids deep down. She wants kids right with the right guy. Deep down, she truly does want children, but she hasn't found the right guy, and she understands she's too old, right? She's 40 years old, worried about being social, spontaneous, all these adventures. That's why. Okay, these girls fall into the same trap. I'm telling you, if she's about the adventures, the traveling, the spontaneity, it's never going to work out. They're never going to want to get it, like, have a family and have kids successfully. 36, so I'm sure she loves to travel because she's pushing that 40. Again, do you want long-term or short? You're almost 40 years old. You got to figure it out. Come on. Being tall is not something you earned. Like, it's not a flex. So she's already sexualizing herself, saying, yeah, my lips are luscious. Yes, I know. Okay, whatever. And of course, she's saying that she's sweet and innocent, but she's got the winky face. Don't let it fool you. Okay, yeah, come on. Single mom archetype right here. She wants something real and consistent. All right, that's fair. We all want real and consistent. Her being a CEO is definitely an L. But I'm telling you, this is how CEOs dress in 2026, huh? This is a true boss right here. This is a real CEO sexualizing herself because she understands as a woman naturally to get guys' attention, perhaps money, business deals. She sexualizes herself, man. Come on. But hey, you better be real and consistent for her. She's a CEO. She's got 2 companies. Good for her. And she smokes weed. That's an L. This is what we do now, huh? So she has children. Okay, this is a single mother, a self-proclaimed CEO, a self-proclaimed multiple business owner, dressed like this. This is how single mothers dress now, sexualizing themselves out in public and online. What would her kids say if she saw this? All right. Okay. This is a single mom right here, by the way. But hey, you better be real and consistent for her because look how she's dressed in public and online. While, keep in mind, being a CEO who's a pothead and is a single mom. Okay. Single mother, pothead, smokes weed every day. Already she's a bad parent, setting bad examples. And if it wasn't bad enough, look how she dresses too. I'm sure her kids see her like this. 33 years old. Does she love to travel? Or is she a single mom? Let's see. Okay. She wants chemistry and consistency. All right. She wants someone to not ask her a bunch of questions. All right. Let's skip the app chatter and meet for coffee. All right. So this is already telling me she's probably talked to hundreds of guys, maybe dozens of dates. So she's already depleted her dopamine because of her lack of decision making and poor choices she's made. Yep. So this right here is telling me she chose the wrong guy in the past. Yep. Because she's in her mid 30s, so clear about what she wants. She cannot babysit a grown man's potential because she did that before, right? She chose wrong, right? Yeah. That tells me she chose wrong in the past. So this is, I'll guarantee you she's dozens and dozens of dates, hundreds of guys that she's talked to. I'm not saying she slept around like a harlot. I'm not saying that at all. But because of she's made bad relationship choices and chose the wrong guys in the past, she can't, no, she's not, it's not worth it. 28 years old. She's got that single mom archetype, that build, that traveler's build. All right, so she wants short-term fun. She's not overweight. All right. Thousands of guys are going to reach out to her, most definitely. Thousands of likes, messages. She's under the age of 30. Doesn't say anything about kids, so I guess we can assume not. Works out often, great. Doesn't smoke, doesn't really drink. So yeah, if you're looking for short-term fun as a guy, you want to just hook up, then you need to stand out from 10,000 guys because that's the amount of attention she's going to get in a couple of weeks. So you cannot be overweight. You have to have abs, muscular definition, look confident in your pictures. Don't be weird. Don't look awkward. You'll get the like. Once you have that match, you need to carry the conversation. You're not being too straightforward, but not too laid back. You're keeping it casual, calm, because she needs to feel safe and calm and relaxed. It feels like she can trust you. Even, we all know what short-term fun means. You can't be like, you match with her and be like, all right, come over to my house. You can't be that straightforward. You talk to her normally as if you don't even know this. Then that's how you go about it. But look, if you're an overweight guy, you're not going to match with her. If you're out of shape, no muscles, you're not going to match with her. If you look weird and awkward in your pictures, she's not going to choose you. So you need to become above average. And you can do that in 12 months' time. Go to the gym every day, lift weights, go running. Eat enough food of the right food to build muscle in your frame. Become well-versed in a variety of topics, read books, take classes, go to school for the right programs. Develop yourself spiritually, have a connection with God. 38 years old. It's that single mom traveler build. You cannot be almost 40 years old and looking for, you don't even know what you're looking for. You can't be short-term or open to long. It's either short-term or long-term. That's it when you're almost 40 years old. And you're talking like you're a used vehicle. Like, this is just odd behavior. This is definitely a no. I get it. You're trying to be funny, maybe cute, but it's just weird and awkward. So no. And she's objectifying herself already as a commodity, the way she's talking. 38. She got that single mom build, huh? Her being almost 40 years old, this build, a little soft, a little chubby, the lips, single mom build, the tattoo right here. These are all characteristics of a single mom. All right. Yep, single mom. There it is. Okay. It's good that she works out every day. So good for her. But if you're a guy with no kids, you have no business dating a single mom. If you do have kids, you're a single dad, then sure, go for it. But they always have this archetype. They're almost always 40 years old, tattoo, slightly overweight, single mom. Traveler archetype, almost 50 years old, traveler archetype right here. Traveler build. There it is. I love to travel. I love to travel. Almost 50. She's looking for that lifelong partner to travel with. Wow. So gay. Positive thing is she doesn't drink or smoke. Perfect. Works out often. Awesome. But why? It's the fake lips too. You can see through the blur. The fake lips. Almost 50. Loves to travel. 50 years old is crazy. Dating with intention at 50 is just crazy. 2 adult kids, they're her life. Wow. 50 years old, man. I wish her the best, but when I see something like this, and if you're a single guy or single girl, you don't want this to be you. You don't want to be 50 years old on a dating app. All right, that was Tinder and Bumble. Let's do some Hinge. All right, so we're going to look at Hinge now. So she's 30 years old. She loves to shop, travel, fine dining, being spoiled, adventures, surprises, and trying new foods. All right, so to me, this is saying she's a sugar baby, wants someone to pay for her lifestyle. So she will go to the highest bidder. That's what she'll do. She'll be going to the highest bidder. She does not have kids, but she wants kids, doesn't smoke. Okay, that's good. Positive is she doesn't smoke. She's 30, into fashion. So she's spiritual and Christian. You cannot be both. It's either one or the other. Because spiritualism believes in the universe, not God. They believe in worshiping rocks and not the cross. But I want you to really pay attention to what her simple pleasures are. Shopping, traveling, fine dining, being spoiled. That tells you straight up, there's no confusion, money. So if you got money, you buy her. That's as plain as it gets. The issue is with girls like this is even if you're a multimillionaire and want to spend 10, 20,000 a month on a girl just to keep her, even if she has your kids, she'll never have that real commitment, that true love. It's going to be monetary, and she'll just go to the next guy who can pay more. So there's never a real reason to get with a girl like this. Yeah, it's all just traveling. So she wants someone to fund her lifestyle. This girl wants you to fund her lifestyle so she can travel the whole world, go to expensive fine dining restaurants. She's overweight though. Like she should really, you're competing with young 19, 20, 21-year-old girls that are somewhat amateur models. You can't be overweight and want that lifestyle. All right, so the sunflower child. She's 28. She's a giant at 6 feet tall. That's all it's got. Okay. Looking for a genuine connection. Puts the Instagram there. Oof, marron. I can't do that kangaroo pouch. It's not even disrespect. I can't do it. It just shows a lack of discipline. So she needs to hit the gym because she's overweight and inflamed, probably from the alcohol she drinks, the food that she eats, tattoos. Yeah. Nah, man, you never want to dance with the devil if they have, what is it, gender dysphoria, mental insanity. Yeah, it ain't worth it, man. It don't matter if you think you're never going to find a girl, have failed with every single relationship. You never want to dance with the devil. She's got that liberal nose piercing of the beast. 37, pansexual. All right. Anytime you see pansexual, demisexual, whatever sexual, it's a no because they think too highly of themselves or they're delusional. Of course, she smokes weed. That's why she's delusional. And like you can never misunderstand this. So she's a liberal, and that tells you straight up. That's the mark of the liberal. So she's passing through Vegas. So she just wants a quick hookup. She just tells you right there. Nope. So she's 40, bisexual. She's too old to date casually. That's the problem, is that she's 40 and she's a bisexual already. So that's not ideal. Doesn't say anything about kids. So I'll assume she's a single mom. So that's a no. 27 years old, bisexual, social worker. Yeah, you can tell, huh? Everybody on Hinge is a bisexual. So this is an interesting conversation. Social workers are meant to help people. They're meant to help people who are down bad. Maybe career criminals, drug addicts, people trying to change their life, low income, maybe some type of abuse. They're helping the downtrodden. Should they be allowed to smoke weed? They should be drug tested. But the problem is the government never has money, or the city or local governments don't have money to drug test. So you have social workers who are potheads. And it's sad because she's 27 and says she's looking for something short term, focusing on my career, but I can make time for fun. And she wants non-monogamy, figuring out my relationship type. So she's gonna become that old cat lady in her 30s and 40s. Do you agree or disagree that fascism is bad? So she has like a half. She got like that partial nose ring because she's a liberal. But the irony is, when you have girls like this that are trying to talk about politics, they have no idea. So she's saying, do you disagree that fascism is bad? Well, of course, fascism is bad. But she's trying to be coy, funny, cute by saying Donald Trump and the administration is fascist because of ICE and how they're deporting people, even though they're not deporting the amount they should. We've lived under corporate fascism for decades. Corporations run the government. They buy politicians, they buy policymakers, they use lobbying and special interest groups. So fascism is the mergence of corporations and government. The word you're thinking of, my dear, because you're misinformed, you're a liberal who's a pothead, you're misinformed. You're thinking of a dictatorship. That's the word you're thinking of, not fascism. We've always had fascism. We always will. ICE, you're thinking of as a dictatorship. Trump making unilateral decisions, that's a dictatorship. That's not fascism. So, I mean, you could ask her, how far along is she? But her being a liberal and a pothead and doesn't know anything about politics but speaks on it, that would be a no. Most people have never heard the word fascism until last year because of ICE and Trump. Not even close to fascism. 55 years old on Hinge is crazy. And you're a bisexual. I didn't think they created bisexualism until like 30 years ago. That is insane. You cannot be in your 50s on a dating app. There's no way. No way. Go to the nursing home. Go play bingo. 31 years old, queer, liberal. Wow, you're checking all the boxes. Of course, she smokes weed, she drinks alcohol. Divorced and non-monogamous. Men, read my profile. I assure you, it will not waste either of our time. What does that mean? It's probably like a tranny. I think it's a tranny. Yeah. Okay, so she's 24 years old. She is a Catholic and a liberal. I'm not sure how that works. And you smoke weed. All right. This is very common. So you cannot be a truly practicing Catholic and smoke weed. I even go as far as saying you cannot be a true liberal and be a true Catholic. Really think about what liberal ideology stands for. They go against traditional gender roles. Liberalism is pro-choice. Catholicism was supposed to be pro-life, but they're like in the middle now. That's how far they've fallen, even more so than Christianity. Catholicism has become more centrist than even Christianity, and that says a lot. So think of the liberal ideology, right? Abortion, drug use, gender roles. That's liberalism doctrine. Catholicism is the exact opposite. So that's why I say you truly cannot be a liberal and a true Catholic. You can't. They're incompatible. How do you justify smoking weed? How do you justify pro-choice? How do you justify female pastors? How do you justify non-traditional gender roles? That's liberalism. You should not go out with me let's be real, if you voted for who shall not be named by. She's so funny, so intelligent, so enlightening when she's dressing like she's still in high school. That's a strange shirt. Should have the Trump 2028 hat. If you voted for who should not be named, bye.
Bye.
You're right, bye. She has that liberal mark of the beast. Let's see.
Come pick up your clothes.
There it is. Liberal, bisexual. Oh my. I don't know. She just checks all the boxes, huh? She drinks alcohol. She smokes cigarettes. She smokes weed. She does drugs. This is true liberalism at its finest. This is the liberal central casting right here. Liberal central casting. You're not a Christian. There's no. You're not a Christian. I'm making that choice. Because you cannot be a bisexual and a Christian. The Bible, Christ forbids that. Furthermore, you must be of a sober mind. When you do drugs, when you smoke weed, when you drink alcohol, you are not of a sober mind. If you are a liberal, you cannot be a Christian because liberalism, it believes in pro-choice. Christianity believes in pro-life. It's so simple. Liberalism believes in non-traditional gender roles. They believe you can be anything you want, any gender, any type of whatever under the sun. Christianity is traditional gender roles, man, woman, husband, wife. Christianity is against drugs. Liberalism is open, free sex, everything. So you cannot be a true Christian and a liberal. You cannot be a bisexual and a Christian. Oof. Marron. Inflamed. Poor diet, alcohol use obviously inflames your gut and your stomach. You know, it's never too late to hit the gym because you're overweight. Oh no. She's trying hard too, but nah. This is a masculinized woman right here. Very masculine. Yeah, you don't want that. And her being a bisexual is bad enough for a relationship. You don't want that. Here we go again. Christian, liberal, bisexual, no. Wants kids, that's good. Doesn't have kids, good. But she smokes weed. Here we are. Here we are once again, boys. She smokes weed and she's claiming to be a Christian. Is this acceptable? Do we accept this? No, we should not. You must be of a sober mind. It's very clear cut. So you cannot be a Christian and smoke weed. You cannot smoke weed and be a Christian. Doesn't matter how you want to flip it. Doesn't matter if you repent, if you pray, whatever you do. As long as you continue in that sin, you're actively denying Christ. So, and you can't be a liberal and a Christian. Like, I'm sorry. It's the rules. You can't be a bisexual. You can't be pro-choice. This is not Christianity. This is the new liberal Christianity that's taken over America. You got to fight against that. Succubus. So to me, relaxation is laying down in the grass after bong rips. Why is it not saying, to me, relaxation is praying, speaking to God, going to church? You're a Christian, right? No, it's getting blasted, smoking weed. That's what relaxation is to you, huh? Yeah. Another panty. Got ourselves a panty and a single mama on top of that. What a wow. Ooh. Partner is such a buzzword in 2026. Marron. That liberal mark of the beast. Look at that. Pronoun warrior. She's so cool. All right. Liberal, bisexual, short term. So, of course, she's in a relationship, non monogamous, so she's getting passed around.
I'm not. Being honest, I'd say I'm about a solid 7. Plus, I do have, I'm not. Being honest, I'd say I'm about a solid 7. Maybe pushing 7.25. But on paper, I think I look good on paper. You know, I check off a good majority of boxes for the average person. But in person, about a 7. Plus, I do have a lisp, and that may or may not be apparent in this voice memo.
All right. So okay, you're a liberal, you're a lesbian. Those are the two L's you never want in the same sentence. Tattoos. I don't know about a 7. Yeah, the liberal talk, right? So a life goal of hers is become a nurse practitioner. All right, that's good, helping people. But to open up a clinic for the unhoused population. Because remember, they're not homeless. It's not their fault. They're unhoused. Homeless is derogatory. It's too mean. It's too aggressive. It puts them down. That's why they stay homeless, because it's the mean word. They're unhoused. I got you. Every single liberal looks the same, man. This is just insanity. I want a girlfriend, but why are you on this? Okay. Liberal, queer, pronoun princess. There's that nose ring. I'm telling you, is it a liberal or not? Let's see. Would you look at that? 100%. This is the archetype, the central casting for liberalism. Again, lesbian, nose piercing, the liberal nose piercing, lesbian, liberal, all the L's. Smokes weed, drinks. Come on, man. And it's so imagine this is your pre-K teacher. You send your kids to this pre-K teacher who smokes weed, is a lesbian, is a liberal, that's already engaged to a girl and wants a friends with benefits just to have sex with, to explore sexuality. This is who's teaching your kids. That's why you always got to homeschool. Homeschooling is the only way to do it. Even if you sacrifice out on money, homeschooling is the only way to protect your children. None of these things should be in the same vicinity of each other. Teacher, school, weed, alcohol, casual, liberal, nose piercing. None of these things should be together. Another pronoun princess. Wow. Liberal. Shock. Oh my God. Yeah, all right. Why can you never capitalize the I? These types of girls who are liberals, they're potheads, they have like undiagnosed autism or herpes. They always put the lowercase I. Always. Oh, marron. Man, if you're single, man, you're cooked. Oh, man. So many similarities. Spiritual liberal, smokes weed, overweight, dismantle the CIA. Okay. When I go, where I go when I want to feel a little more like myself, a drag show. All right. So what are we doing here, man? Teacher. Should your teachers be bisexual? Should they be liberal? Should they be smoking weed? All educators should be drug tested yearly at random. It should be a requirement that you're drug tested, I'd say 2 to 3 times randomly throughout the year. The problem is then a third of all teachers are getting fired, because it is an absolute disgrace that these people are teaching young children that can't even take control of their own lives. Big mama.
Occasional pegging.
A mother, by the way.
Occasional pegging.
Single mom, by the way. Liberal. Shock. Overweight. Oh, man. Putting your kid on a dating app is insanity, yo. Like, what is wrong with these single moms, yo? Like, they're just down and bad. No. Nope. Here we are again, boys. She smokes weed every single day. She's a pothead. There is a reason why they call this the devil's lettuce. Cannot be a Catholic, definitely not a Christian, and smoke weed. The devil's lettuce. So either you give up your faith in your religion and your belief in Christ, or you give up the devil's lettuce. Cannot have both. What the? All right, then do it. What? Man, Hinge is just dating apps have got to be 85% liberal and at least 65% single moms and about 70% overweight. So most of these guys are looking for like 15% of girls. So you have 10,000 dudes trying to find 100 chicks. This is insanity, yo. Like, this is the second half of the stream. The first half of the stream was the dating app review, looking at the profiles, giving advice, looking out for the code words, the symbolism, things that you might overlook. So you look at the good, the bad. Should you date this girl? Should you not? The second part of this video is dating content. It's men's self-improvement, modern dating, red pill, manosphere, men's self-improvement. We look at Myron Gaines, Michael Sartain, whatever podcasts, Fresh and Fit, and then a CNBC, Why is Dating So Expensive? So we'll start off with why men are not committing to women. Why do you think men are not committing to women? What's your thought? Yeah, the majority of women, so not 100%, not all women, but the majority, 60 to 65% of all women are overweight. That's number one. About 55% are single moms. So you're looking for 30% of women that are not overweight or do not have kids. And then of that 30 to 35%, you can assume half are liberal, feminist. So you're trying to get 15% of women. So I would say half of the men are liberal, half or more on the right. So you have 50% of all guys going for 15 to 20% of girls, essentially. That's the disparity. And it's just way too much makeup. I know you can't see what she looks like. Way too much makeup. The filter is just crazy on this chick. She just looks off. And anytime a girl is going to vent on social media, automatically she is not mentally stable. If there's a girl you're interested in and she does this, become uninterested. If you start talking to a girl or you meet a girl online or a dating app, or you're out in public and you get her social media and she vents on social media, just don't even waste your time and just move along. That is the best advice because it is the strangest behavior to go on social media and complain about things that go on in your daily life. These things are meant to be private. There's only two reasons that women, will go on social media and complain about usually men or dating or what's going on in the world. They want sympathy from simps, so weak men, and they want to build a group, a sisterhood of women who hate men. That's it. Why else do you go on social media to vent? Because you're trying to get attention and validation from weak guys saying, oh, no, baby, you're not you. You're great. I love you. I take care of you. Or it's women who are saying, yeah, girl, F these guys. They're all losers. Those are the only two outcomes.
You because it's your fault, because you suck. If he dated you for several months and he doesn't want to commit to you, that's your fault. That means you're more than likely a sucky girlfriend. Let's go ahead and get to the next story here. The next thing I want to show you guys, which is basically this Shakira. So I'm going to go ahead and let this video play for you guys real quick. This one is wild, all right? So I'm going to play this for y'all.
You go on a date. He's great. He's sweet. Great eye contact. Chemistry, I think's there. Have a good time. The whole conversation is about how he's ready for a family and he's only looking for a woman who really wants kids. That's the tone. I'm like, great, someone who's serious, who wants a relationship. Fast forward a few dates. It's getting kind of serious in my little pea brain. You know, introduce each other's dogs.
The voice is off to me. Is the voice off to you? Like, that's like a. Come on, yeah.
A little.
Visiting each other's places. You know, it's getting in this pea brain to the next step. You don't want to know what's going on in his pea brain. So, fast forward again. We're having great long walks, great weekends. A couple months go by, having really good, serious talks. One could say there's a little bit of love bombing in there. There's a little bit of future faking in there. So, a couple months go by.
Why did women create these words? Love bombing, future faking. These words did not exist before 2020. They didn't. No one said love bombing. No one said future faking. It did not exist before 2020, just like pronouns didn't exist. Society collapsed socially and culturally since 2020. Even dating in itself. I'm 35 and I remember dating before 2020. You never heard the word masculine or feminine. Dominant, submissive. Those were never brought up in relationships because it was a natural thing. The girl you're with, the guy you're with, it was never like, oh, I'm feminine or I'm masculine or this is traditional. Oh, I'm submissive. Those words were never heard. No one spoke of them.
You're doing one of your 4-mile walks. You're holding hands. The dogs are sniffing the grass. The sun is setting. You're only in mile 1 of the 4-mile walk, mind you. And innocent female thought bubble, I say out loud, silly me, I go, so are we kind of gonna delete the apps? Are we kind of exclusive? What's the plan, Stan? I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole you, but it's been a few months and it seems to be going well. And I'm letting you into my safe space, my emotional This is my favorite place on earth.
You already know how I feel about safe space. Your safe space? Okay, are we toddlers? Is this kindergarten? Safe space, sticks and stones may break my bones type of thing? This is that type of behavior. Grown adults needing a safe space.
Now, notice how she didn't give him a chance for a while, then she finally gave him a chance, right? And they're seeing each other for a few months, okay? That's very important to know.
And I don't just let anyone hear. Stupid me, I'll never do that again. Spoiler alert. And
this, you can just tell this chick has TikTok brain. Everything she is saying, her brain has been subverted by social media. Spoiler alert, safe space, future faking, love bombing.
looks at me dead in the eye, still holding my hand, and says, you know, I don't think so.
So let's go back to so basically this girl gets this guy, right? The guy chases her around, wants to get in a relationship with her. He doesn't give him the time of day, right? She finally gives him a chance. He dates her for a few months, and she asks him the proverbial, "What are we?" Right? Let's rewind this a little bit.
If you have to ask what are we, it's already failed. I think it's a natural thing, and there's like that mutual understanding. If you ever have to ask the other person you're dating or trying to date, hey, what are we? It's not going to work. Because if you don't have that mutual feeling already, like, all right, this is going somewhere. This is just self-explanatory. It doesn't need to be said. It doesn't need to be brought up. We're moving in this direction. Or he'll bring it up when the time is right. Like, hey, I've never said that phrase ever, and no one has ever said that phrase to me. What are we? It's gay. Like it should be clear and obvious. Like you're dating or you're not. You're either married or you're not. That's it. There's nothing else. There's none of this. Because a lot of these girls, they're so indoctrinated with social media and dating apps that they think there's all these different relationships. There's the pansexual, the poly, there's like 20 different things. So they're like, oh, well, what are we? It's like, really, there's not that many choices. You're dating or you're married. That's it.
Was like expected. What's she doing? Another chick in a car complaining about men on TikTok. Every single time, bro. Never fails.
Say out loud, silly me. I go, so are we kind of gonna delete the apps?
Because to me, in her thinking, she seems to be more ahead than the guy. Like she's maybe ready for something more. So if that is the case, she shouldn't even ask, what are we? She shouldn't ask, should we delete the app? She should just delete the app and then just fully commit. He'll feel her, the way she's acting, how she's behaving, what she's saying. She should just delete the app without saying anything. Like, why does it have to be made known? It's like people on social media who say, hey, I'm going to unfollow you. Okay, what's the point of telling me? I don't care. Or, hey, I'm deleting social media. Why are you making a goodbye post? Like, just do it. It's the same concept.
Stan, I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole ya, but it's been a few months, and it seems to be going well. And
of course, she has this annoying filter on with an annoying voice.
Letting you into my
I knew it was a filter.
space, my
Did you see what she looked like?
And a bunch of
doesn't even
makeup
look
on, as you
real.
guys can tell from her hand versus her face.
my favorite place on earth, and I don't just let anyone hear. Stupid me, I'll never do that again. Spoiler alert. And
Right?
That's
this
really
this
extreme.
man looks at me dead in the eye, still holding my hand, and says, you know, I don't think so. I don't think I want a relationship. I don't think I want to be exclusive. I don't want to be with you. I don't see a future. And I'm like, it was kind of like, that meme where it's like the buffering. That was me. I'm like buffering.
And it's funny because I was just going to say, she looks like it hurts to think. Like when she's thinking, it looks like it hurts her. It's like, and she's like, she's buffering. That's what she's like, I'm buffering.
My little brain, I'm like, and we're only on mile 1 of 4. My only thought at that time is, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm like,
Immediately makes herself a victim. Immediately, as usual, get me out of here. Watch what she says next.
I think it's just like being adopted and I don't know, being a tourist, or just being me and having lived.
Trust issues, stability issues. Yeah. Because what is the point of her bringing up, oh, I'm a tourist, like whatever that means, or I was adopted. Okay. So does you being adopted and you being a tourist prevent you from ever being married or having kids or being successful in life? People hold on to any negative thing in their life. Really think about that. Think of every single person you know and how many of them hold on to something in their past that you think prevents them from succeeding in their present or their future. Almost everyone you know has something in their past that's like, you should never live this way. It holds you back.
York, I need to always know there's an escape hatch. Like, where are the exits? How can I leave? I couldn't leave. There was the only way out was finishing this 4-mile walk. And I'm like, and this person stuffs at my house.
Because she's trying to
I'm
come
like
to me.
thinking to myself, I wish I could like in Sims, I wish I could go to my house before we go back there, remove all of his materials and put them outside in front of his car so that I didn't have to.
You know what's funny? Like, she's losing her mind. She's crashing out basically because this guy isn't sure if he wants to commit to her. And what does she do? She basically validates like why he shouldn't commit to her. Like, it's kind of funny how like women do stupid shit like this and they wonder why they're single. Like, what she doesn't realize, she's not asking herself the right questions. And I said this also in my tweet. He didn't want to commit to you because it's your fault. Because you suck. Like, if he dated you for several months and he doesn't want to commit to you, that's your fault. That means you're more than likely a sucky girlfriend, okay? That's what it probably means. But women don't like to hear this shit, right? Like, I go, what she doesn't realize is it's her fault he did not want to commit after months of seeing her. Women fail to realize it's their job to convince the man to settle, not his, right? And the thing is, right, and I think this girl's like a TV anchor or some shit like that. Like, she's like a news anchor or something like that. Like, and this is actually very common with girls that do like, entertainment around social media. Girls that are like in entertainment or social media, another reason why I tell you guys not to wife them is because they don't do wifey duties. They don't cook, they don't clean, they don't like do anything that they like should really be doing as a girlfriend or a wife, right? She probably talks a lot. Her voice is annoying, right? So women that are in entertainment, right?
Yeah, her being inside the entertainment industry, she's going to get a lot of attention. That is her job, right? It's attention, it's focus, eyes on her. And so that's going to manipulate anyone's personality. So never date someone that's especially a woman inside entertainment, because that attention to women is very, very destructive, and it warps their minds. It puts them in this delusional state. And, he's right. They need to prove themselves to you. If you want a wife, while she's your girlfriend, what is she doing to show you should be a good wife, right? Does she help you? Is she your little helper? Does she do things for you? Does she make your life easier?
Social media don't tend to make good girlfriends because they think, right, their career is good enough. Or, I work really hard, I'm famous, so I get to kind of chill. I don't have to like do wifey duties. And it's fine. A lot of guys aren't really gonna complain about that. But you know what's gonna happen? You're just not gonna get wifed. That's what's gonna happen. So when it's time, right, when you go on a walk with a guy and you ask him, what are we? And he gives you the, I don't know. That's your fault as a female. You did not do a good job of convincing him to get in a long-term relationship with you because you didn't add enough value. So he doesn't know. That's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to. He didn't see any value in taking it to the next level because more than likely she's only good for... And to be honest with you guys, this is where most actually fall. This is actually where a majority of Western fall. Good for not much more else, which is why he doesn't want to commit. She's lucky he's at least being honest. Like, he could have just been like, oh yeah, let me wife you, and then like, go and see other girls on the side like this nigga Klay Thompson. Right? Which we'll talk about that here in a second too. But the problem here is that most Western, right, are just not good long-term girlfriends. So most of these Western don't have what I call girlfriend game, or they don't have girl game. Girl game, guys, is the ability to keep your guy around, okay? That's what girl game is. Girl game is supposed to be the ability to retain your man, okay? And unfortunately, most women do not have this skill set because in Western society, okay?
And that's the main difference when it comes to dating between men and women. Men, we need to attract the woman. The woman needs to keep us. That's how it works. We attract, they maintain. We attract the girl, they try to keep us.
We tell women to do things to not keep their man. We tell them to focus on work. We tell them to challenge their guy. We tell them to act like a guy. We tell them to basically, that it's okay for them to act like a guy and that men should accept it. This is something that is a problem in the West with women where they don't understand that it's their job to get their guy to commit. It's their job to be so valuable that the man can't see not being with them or wifing them up. And a lot of women don't know this and don't understand this, so they just end up getting left. They end up where guys don't want to commit to them. They end up where guys just only use them they end up as booty calls only, etc. But let's go ahead and see what she says here. Let's see the epic quote that she's probably going to come up with.
That, all of those things. Anyway, so we painfully finished the next 3 miles with him just I
just go.
Out, but I just let him.
Can you wait an hour though?
Whenever he wanted to get out, I was just one track mind. I'm like, get home, get back to.
All right, wait for this video to be done.
And I'm telling.
Get back to safety. He's not gonna do nothing to you.
My dog, giddy up. And he's just telling me all the reasons why he's trying to find himself. He's he thinks he needs to date more people. Well, no, first he said the one thing I recall that I was like, huh? He said, I think I need to be away from you to realize that I want to be with you. And
he shouldn't have said that, but at this point, he probably noticed that she was being uncomfortable and that she didn't want to be there with anymore. So he just started to try to repair it and make her feel better.
I was he said he'll miss me when he's away from me and gone. So he needs to
Yeah, she just didn't add enough value, bro. It's that simple. She probably has a bunch of annoying habits, whether it's she talks too much, she doesn't do acts of service, she's annoying. It's that simple, dude. If you guys were dating for months and he doesn't want to take it to the next level, you didn't do a good job of portraying yourself as a good girlfriend. It's that simple, dude.
She cannot be annoying, and does she do acts of service? Do you agree? But is that what women should do?
Yeah, I think so. I think that it's hard because what one person finds annoying, someone else might not.
Talking too much, anyone would say talking too much is annoying. Being too rude or being too argumentative, most guys would say that's, and then acts of service is universal too. So yeah, those things are universal. And of course she's going to be annoying because she's on social media talking about everything. So those are always signs.
And I already know why. This girl is a TV anchor or whatever. So I already know she wasn't clean and doing nothing, bro. And I'll keep it 1,000 with you guys. Right? A lot of times they're useless, if we're gonna be honest. I'll keep it 1,000 with you guys, bro. I'll keep it all the way above with you guys. Unless she comes from a super conservative household, most women aren't gonna cook for you. They're not gonna clean for you. They're not gonna do laundry. They're gonna do none of that bullshit, bro. You're gonna have to tell them. And that in itself is annoying. White, bro, especially when they go to college and shit like that, they tend to
Yeah, he's saying white girls are cooked. Unless she comes from a really conservative house. They're not going to cook. They're not going to clean. They don't want to be a wife. They're going to always argue with you. They're not going to want to have kids. They're not going to submit. And that's true because so many of them grow up with the Taylor Swift ideology. So many white girls got psyoped by Taylor Swift ideology, by Sex in the City, all this feminist propaganda, this liberal propaganda in the colleges that weaponized all women, but especially white women and their empathy to hate themselves, hate their country, and want to just have sex, do drugs, drink, travel, and then settle down in their 30s when it's too late.
To be some of the worst long-term girlfriends, especially if they're college educated, because they don't think that they have to do anything for you as a woman. They think them working and making money is them contributing, not realizing that shit doesn't matter at all. I'll keep it a bug with you guys. Now, is this all white? Of course not. But what I've realized with a lot of them is a lot of them tend to be useless. Typically, guys, keep it 1,000 with y'all again. The more educated they are and the more money they make, the more useless they are going to be as a girlfriend for you. Okay? It's that simple, bro.
And it's not due to a lack of their effort or their accomplishments, because those accomplishments don't really mean anything inside of a relationship. No guy's going to be like, oh yeah, she's got to have a bachelor's degree. She has to have a great career, make good money. No guy's saying that. It's, is she attractive? And is she going to be annoying? Is she going to make my life easier? That's it. Is she hot or not? Is she annoying or not? That's it. It's not your college degree or your career. But so many women think those things matter to guys. God bless you. No guys are like, oh yeah, bachelor's degree in this. Oh, she's got a master's degree in that. Ooh, she has that nice, HR job, so attractive. No, because those things have just enabled her to think that she's better than you, that she's better than the guy, and that she's empowered and liberated to be independent. Oh, I'm educated. I went to college. Oh, I got my job. I don't need you. They're independent of men.
More educated and the more money they make, the more useless they're going to be. They're not going to go ahead and do the things they're supposed to do as a girlfriend. They're going to be less submissive. They're not going to cook. They're not going to clean. They're going to not do laundry. None of that shit. If anything, they might hire other people to do it, but they're definitely not going to do it, right? Which in that case, why the f- do you have her? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to want to be able to have their girls' nights. They're going to want to be able to, do what they do, right? You're going to have to you're going to have to really coach a lot of them. And I'll be honest with you, you're probably not going to want to coach girls like that, Like, there's some girls that just aren't coachable, or there's some girls that aren't worth it. Or there's some girls that you could go ahead and take the time and coach them and make them a better girlfriend and everything, of course, right? If I think she's younger and she's worth it, right? Let's say she's 20. Okay, then it might be worth it to coach her, right? She doesn't have that many bad habits. If she comes from a good family, she's not a 304, whatever, cool. Then yeah, coach her. Teach her what you need her to do, etc. That's fine. But dude, 28, 29, 30 plus, he has a job, she has a career. You're not going to change her, dude. You're not going to change her, you're not going to change her, unfortunately. They're stuck in their ways. They're stuck in doing what they do. They're stuck with the feminist propaganda, right? And that's it. It doesn't make sense for them to change, So you're better off just getting another girl or finding a girl that's younger that comes from a better background, or a girl that's going to be more naturally submissive. But yeah, most college educated white are going to be useless girlfriends. I'll give it $1,000 Joe. They're just not. If she comes from a good family and she's young, you can coach her. But a lot of them, they don't grow up with certain values. It is what it is. Nobody's gonna tell y'all that, but I will. A lot of them just don't.
And think about the dynamic of relationships, marriages, households. It's 55 to 60% of all households are a single mother raising the kids. So automatically there's no male authority and male respect in that house. There's no father figure. So at least half of all girls are going to have no father figure in their life. So why would they know anything about men when they get older? Why would they know anything about relationships and what they should do for men and how that dynamic works? And then the ones that do grow up with a father, most of them are weak. They're liberalized. They're feminized. They got their nuts castrated. So 80% of all women are going to grow up with no real male authority or masculine energy to understand what it is to date a man. So there's that disconnect. They get into their early 20s and they're like, wow, why are guys like this? My dad wasn't like this. He just did whatever my mom said. Happy wife, happy life. The biggest lie we ever bought.
They're indoctrinated by the feminism worse than other groups of girls.
Figure that out and feel that feeling first. And I was like, sir,
9 things I'll tell my daughter about men. No, 9 things I'll tell my sons about women.
So we finally crawl back to my location, and
Did you like that?
this chicken nugget is
Did you?
yeah, so I can stay in your guest room though, it's late, I'll drive back tomorrow. I was like, that's super amazing that you thought that. There's the door, don't let it hit you. Well, maybe let it hit you on the way out. Skedaddle. And long story short, he was just shocked that I didn't want him to just,
What?
tent up and, stay the night. And, I mean, these men,
2 more
these
minutes.
30-something guys, I think they're just homeless. I don't know. They just want to, stay at these women's houses that they meet on these apps. I don't know. I mean, I met...
You were dating him for months. See, now she's mad that, you didn't want to, take her seriously. Now she's, all butthurt and shit. And it's dude, you were seeing him for months. You guys were staying at each other's houses already. This isn't something out of the ordinary. It's just that she's mad that he didn't want to commit to her. And like I said before, he didn't want to commit to her. I guarantee you she has bad habits. I guarantee she talks a lot. I guarantee you she doesn't obey. I guarantee you she's not submissive. I guarantee you she thinks her opinion matters, right? She comes from an industry where, she's on TV all the time, right?
If she's the anchor, she's the main character in her job. So it's hard for her to turn that off in a relationship. And it's sad. A lot of girls most girls don't realize how indoctrinated they truly are until they're confronted with their reality. Wow, this is how I really am. This is how these girls really are. This is how things really are. That's how deep the brainwashing goes.
has bad habits, like she still goes out with her friends, probably still parties, probably still hangs out with her male counterparts. These are all things that men don't like. And that's why he's like, you know what? I'll keep seeing her, I'll keep hooking up with her, but I'm not gonna wife this girl. And she thought that she was worthy of being wifed up, and now she's getting the reality check like, no. And she's pissed off about it. She doesn't like it at all, which is kind of funny. But, it is what it is, I guess, with a lot of these women. I told you guys before, women don't take L's very well. They really don't, dude. Women do not take L's very well at all.
On Instagram, red flag. I won't do that again. But yeah.
What did she say? She met him on Instagram?
30-something guys. I think they're just homeless. I don't know.
No, you just are a shitty girlfriend, dude. He didn't want to commit to you. That's even more proof that he didn't want, that she was a shitty girlfriend. He's in his 30s, bro.
Just want to
he's not even thinking about her.
Stay at these women's houses that they meet on these apps. I don't know. I mean, I met him on Instagram. Red flag. I won't do that again. But yeah, I just look back at that and I'm like, I pride myself in being able to see these things.
Does she have intuition? Did her intuition let her down? Yeah. We're told women have such great intuition, but it's just not true. Because they consistently choose the wrong guy for relationships. They always choose the wrong guy to sleep with. They always choose the wrong guy to have kids with. But they have such great intuition, right? And that's what she's saying. I'm like, usually I get these things right. Do you though? That's why you're single like this? It's not even an attack. It's just just be honest with yourself. Intuition's not a real thing. It's your experiences in life, right? The example was the pilot who's landed 1,000 times. He can tell when something's off with the plane. The surgeon who's done 500 surgeries, he can tell when something's going really good or to predict what's going to happen. It's experiences, repetition, not something that you feel in your stomach. You get all butterflies or some dream you get.
I would think in advance or miles away, but even the best get got, I mean.
But do you see how she's not taking accountability? Even though without knowing the whole story, you can tell she's pissed off, triggered, crashing out about this. Yeah, it's all his fault. It's like, oh, the best get got. What are you the best at? You're single still. Because having this mindset prevents you from real, true self-reflection, to really develop yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, to really understand yourself, other people, society, this reality. You can't live in this delusion thinking, oh, the best get got, or I have this intuition. I can predict this. I know this and that. No, that just hinders you. Have humility. Take accountability when something goes wrong. That's how you learn.
Dang. So I'm just happy as clam with me and my pupperoo.
Yep, she's gonna be a cat lady, bro. She's gonna be a cat lady, bro.
Because my safe space is my safe space. And it was a good lesson learned. No more.
And once again, what I tell you guys, another girl in their car complaining on TikTok, bro. Hey, it's fantastic because now we have all this, data, right? We have all these receipts. Dude, honestly, bro, I'm gonna be it's so incredible to watch as modern lose their minds, right? They just lose their minds on this shit. So
these individuals get to be in my safe, my happy spot. So my apartment and stuff, you're gonna have to be with me for probably 12 months, to a year, before.
And this is exactly why you want to date a girl and end up with a girl, marry a girl, have kids with a girl who has the least amount of experience as possible. She just told you right there. So say she meets the right guy. It could be her dream guy. She may not even realize it down the road. The guy she ends up marrying, having kids with, she has all these boundaries up. She has all these walls up now already before even meeting this guy. He's going to have to do this, do that, wait 12 months. All because of the past mistakes that she made by choosing the wrong guy time after time again. So now the next guy, hey, that could be the right one. And then 6 months go by, 9 months go by. And he's like, hey, I don't have this track record. I don't have these bad experiences. I'm actually ready for this real thing. But she's slow dragging this, having all this hesitancy, questioning me, not trusting me. You see how girls with more experience is a problem. No matter what, across the board. The least partners she's had sexually, true relationships she had, the better. Because they're always going to carry the damage, the trauma from the past. And she just told you straight up how she's going to be in her next relationship. How can you put that boundary out there without even meeting the guy? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the whole point. You're setting yourself up already.
I'm gonna let you, enter my space again, but what is going on? Like, I get it. Like, if you don't want commitment, like, say it straight up so we can save everybody's time, Adam.
But he could say he does want commitment, and maybe you should know after a couple weeks, definitely a couple months, but maybe he hit that point where he's like, hey, she's not really what I thought. Because you can say you want commitment, but that person, you notice after a couple weeks, couple months, like, wow, this isn't the one. She is deflecting so heavy.
No, you're just useless. Like, again, she's just useless, and she's mad that she's useless, and they didn't want to commit to her, bro.
And of course, they met on Instagram, social media. She said that. And what is she on? Social media complaining. So a bunch of guys, a bunch of simps, oh, no, baby, not me. I wouldn't do that to you. I would treat you right. That's why she's doing this.
Oh, man, is that simple? Yeah, there we go. Alexandra on TV. Exactly. Come on, man. You already know what time it is with a chick like that. Her name is Alexandra on TV. We're good off that, bro.
Let's go check out her TikTok really quick, just to prove this point.
Spend it.
Yeah, so say we message each other on social media, right? And okay, before you even go on a date with a girl, you find out her social media. You see this, there's no point to even go on the date. This is crazy. Non-stop dating deal breaker, single life. When do you know on a date? Nice girls can't be nice. The honest truth, like it's all these things bouncing back.
I spent 2 years in Los Angeles and
Of course.
3 or 4 in New York City. Literally,
Of course, the Sims. I wish you success and good fortune. That sounds tough. Good job. You are awesome. You'll be surprised at what doors open for you. Never give up. Good luck. So beautiful. Look at all these pussies.
Take a look around. Do you see her anywhere?
Same thing.
News.
Different post. Cutie. Flower emoji. Heart emoji. Hearts emoji.
so back when I was recently asked.
Here we go. Trust me, I feel the same way. I have dealt with the same. Oh, I wish you lived in Minnesota. You would enjoy hanging out with me. I think staying single is a smart idea. Hi, beautiful. I'm also in Sarasota. Look, boys, she will never date a single one of you. I don't care how good you think you look, how much money you make. If you comment on any of her posts on social media, she sees you as a fan. She sees you as less than. All these guys are just like, oh, y'all, you're funny. I'll make it worth the date. No, you won't. All she wants is attention, and every single one of you guys are giving her the attention she wants. She will never date you. It doesn't matter if you live down the street from her. Like, hey, I live down the street from you. I saw you at the grocery store. She'll never do it. This is all attention to her. This is crazy. I knew it. I knew this is why she did it. Look at all these guys just gaslighting her. Every single post. This is why girls do this. So again, whether it's Instagram or TikTok, check her out. And if she does something like this and you see just simps giving her this attention, this validation, and she keeps feeding into it post after post, she will stay single forever like this. Guaranteed. All right, so I used the delusion calculator and got shocking results. So let's see, Michael Sartain, delusion calculator. Yeah, so it's clear women are delusional. They want a guy who is way out of their league in the sense of a top 10% guy, earner, height, physical attraction, mental development, spiritual development, all those things. Because most guys are overweight. Most guys make $40,000 to $50,000 a year. Most guys are under 6 feet tall. But the majority of women want a guy who's making 80 to over 100K a year, over 6 feet tall, in shape. So it's they're going for the top 15, 20% of guys. So see how delusional they really are. Delusional they are.
Because I had the center fielder for the Yankees. Therefore, it's not going to be a problem for me to get these men. And then later on, then life hits. And it's like, wow, I was very much able to sleep with any of these men. Even in your 30s, even in your 40s, if you stay in really good shape, you could do it. But could you get them to commit? And often you can't. And that's the problem. Julia, the percentage of American men that make $100,000 a year, what percentage do you think it is?
1%.
1% make $100,000 a year?
Oh, I thought you said million.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why not? What do you think?
100,000. I don't think a lot. People are broke nowadays.
Okay. Anybody else have a guess?
I'm gonna take a stab at
Go
it.
ahead.
28%.
28%? What do you guess?
16%.
16%? What do you think?
I think it's higher than all that.
I don't know. The last like 5 dates I went on, they were very wealthy people. Well, you have to think about the average
You're a
income.
pretty girl who lives in New York. Go ahead.
You have to think about the average income coming out of the university.
Yeah.
And then that's not 100,000. So
Yeah.
you have to rack it up years, you're older. I'm gonna say like a little bit higher than $1 million. I'm gonna say like 8%.
Okay, Mario's about right. It's about 16%. It's about 17% of the population make that much money. So now, if more than 60% of college graduates are female, they're going to make more money than men in general. And I forgot to look up this stat, but I believe under the age of 30 or 35, women are outpacing men as far as income in the United States. I know they are in Scandinavian countries. Like they're lapping men in these Scandinavian countries. But you said you want someone who makes more money than you.
So it's simply because most careers have pivoted over the last 10, 15 years to require that bachelor's degree as a minimum. The majority of jobs that are inside buildings that are white collar, even some blue collar now, it's a bachelor's degree minimum. So girls are going to school at a higher rate. About 55, 60% of people in college are female. So that's why men are getting left behind, because of the requirement of the degree. Even though any type of degree you really earn, you understand experience is more valuable than that degree, right? So that's the reason why. It's because all these jobs and careers have mandated that this is the requirement for this job: bachelor's degree minimum, or even a master's degree.
Or just has the same, not even makes more money, but has the same ambition, has goals.
Sure.
Like,
Is it about the money
someone I
or
could respect? Like you were saying, you want a man that you could respect.
Sure.
It's like,
Is it
I
about
want a
the-
man that I can respect, whether it's more or less money.
is it about the money
Yeah.
or like the mindset and who
The
he is to
mindset.
become
I'm not
the
gonna
money?
go to work every day, work my ass off, and come home
Like
and
you're
cook
taking
dinner
care
for a
of
man
them.
that sat on the couch all day.
Right.
You know?
That's BS, because she says it's about the mindset, not the money. But the reality is, say he had a great mindset, but he was misguided. He was a hard worker, but not a smart worker. So now he's only making $40,000 a year. Is she okay with that? She may say that up front. She may say that for the first couple months. But over time, she's going to realize, hey, money does really matter.
That's not what I'm gonna do. You won't find me there.
How old is that guy? How old is he? What, Ray, what's the youngest?
Maybe 80. I don't care.
What's the youngest you would date?
The youngest I would date, probably like 25,
What's the oldest you would date?
What's the oldest you would date?
50.
Okay, Frenchie, the youngest and the oldest, what would you say? Where's your range?
Youngest 25, oldest 38.
38 is the oldest? Okay, what about you, Tristan? What's the youngest and oldest man you would date? I'm sorry, you go to Harvard, so I thought you were like good like that. I'm just kidding. What youngest and oldest woman you date?
Probably like 21's the youngest, and like I would say 30's the oldest.
30's the oldest. Got it. What do you think?
Probably like 29.
Yeah.
29 to like 50. Mid 50.
So these two chicks that said they'll date a guy in their 50s, that's money. These chicks are in their mid to late 20s. They're not dating 50-year-old dudes because they love them. That's for money.
29 to mid-50s? Why do you squint your eyes? Like, I'm
Mike, I meant
like,
21. I meant 21 to 30 million. I just care about the money.
Oh, okay,
That's
just
why-
care about
that's
money.
why, right?
Yeah, CJ Sparks came on here. How tall do you want your man to be? $5 million. What do you want him to do for a living? $5 million. What color do you want his eyes to be? $5 million. Go ahead.
Youngest, I really hate men in their 20s actually, so probably like 30 or older.
Okay,
I
and
don't
then the
really
oldest?
have a restriction on oldest, like 100. Oh, not 100. Maybe like 60.
60? Okay, 60. What about you?
As far as like dating, start at 25. I'll go up to about, maybe like 45 max.
45 for dating, really?
But smacking,
Yeah.
as soon as they cross over.
Okay, as soon as they cross over.
Yeah.
As soon as they cross over.
Exactly.
Ms. Wilbur.
I'm old enough.
Youngest, probably 40. Oldest,
That's the youngest?
I don't care.
Wow.
Oldest, you don't care? Okay.
I like
40
that.
million. Just 40 million. That's all that
No,
matters.
men in their 30s still are having fun.
Yes, you want to.
Keep in mind, this chick has a boyfriend at home sitting in the corner crying, listening to all this from his girl out here, just embarrassing him.
So you can just beat them down. They can't argue anymore.
No, I don't want to beat them down. I'm very happy and want to have fun with them.
Yeah.
But like, I just want them to be chill. Like,
Got it.
in their 30s, they're still raw dogging sluts.
Yeah, raw dogging. That's a problem. We should stop raw dogging. Go ahead. What do you think, Nicole?
I'm not going to answer that question because it's going to expose me.
What do you mean?
My age.
20 to 20 to
No,
25. That's the age of men.
No
you
one
like.
told me to. Yeah, I just turned 27.
Yeah.
No, I think like probably 33, and I'm gonna say maybe 50, but that's because I'm active, I'm athletic. I want somebody to be able to do those active activities.
For sure. I also think 50 for men is different now because of peptides and TRT. It's very, like I have a lot of friends that are, I'm 47 and I have a lot of friends that are 50, 55. I mean, he's, 55,
I
56.
think it's different for a very small percentage.
Yeah.
I feel like most 50-year-olds are not.
Right, but I do think more of them are going to get into that, and because of that, you're going to see more 55-year-old men with sub 14% body fat and like able to mend some of the problems that they have physically, and I think you're going to see a lot more with a certain group of the population. I understand.
I'm at 15 right now. I'm at 15% right now.
There we go. All right.
Let's just go with any. Minimum height. How tall do you want your guy to be?
I'm 4'11", so I'll take as short as 5'6".
I
I'll
don't
take
care
one for
about
the
height.
team.
I don't care about
I'll
height
take
or
one.
looks.
Because there's something with those short men.
We all have a
You know what
shot.
I mean?
All right.
Julia's telling us that we all have a shot somewhere. Julia's saying there's a chance.
I don't care about height,
Don't
looks,
care?
nothing physical. Just have good hygiene.
Does he have to be taller than you?
No,
Doesn't matter.
height, no. Just be clean, good hygiene, care about your appearance.
Does he
But
need
it doesn't
10?
matter
Does
about
he need
looks.
10
That's
or
how you're
20
born.
million?
He needs enough to provide for me. I'm high maintenance.
Minimum income.
There's not a number. If you can provide for me,
It's like it's not high enough.
me happy, you're good.
Got it. Let's do this real quick so we can make this a little quicker.
Yeah.
Who's the minimum height? You said what, 5'6"?
Yeah, 5'6".
Okay. Anybody else higher than 5'6"? What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Definitely. I'm 5'7.5", 6 foot.
6 foot.
Got
What
it.
do you want, Frenchie?
5'6".
5'6". What do you want?
I don't care.
Okay. Wait, you don't care, Nicole.
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. That's it. So we'll do 5'7". We'll do 5'7". We've never.
Because you can tell a guy's sense of humor and his personality from afar, right? No, you're looking at his physical characteristics. Is he overweight? Does he have muscles? How tall is he? That's what they look for. These girls are coping. Such a lie.
I've never gone that
This is
low.
the most realistic group of women we've ever had on our show. Ready? Okay, so we don't ask Julia the income. Anybody else have a yearly income, a minimum yearly income you're looking for?
It has to be 6 figures.
Has to be 6 figures, so $100,000 a year.
I second that. It has to be.
I mean,
Like,
you
to
live
live
in
right now on your own.
so 6 figures here.
Here!
Huh? Oh, that's right, you live here. I keep forgetting. Well, you used to live in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 figures here is like, you need 400,000. You need 400,000 there, yeah.
Yeah, like you need to be able to like live on your own, take care of yourself,
Yes.
and like buy your own groceries and whatnot, all the fun
Feed
things.
3 cats.
You need at this time in this life, this world, you need like at least 6 figures to do that.
Got it. Frenchie, what's the minimum?
It's just not true. We live in such a privileged society to where we're so overindulged in just materialistic things. You know how many immigrants come over here from third world countries and have 4, 5, 6, 7 kids? It's a lot more than you think. And they're making less than $40,000 a year in the household. And they're having 5, 6, 7 kids. So it can be done. It's just these modern American men and women think you need to make $200,000 to even have one child. It's just utter BS.
Right now, I would say the minimum is probably like 50,000 yearly.
Really?
Yeah, just because I know a lot of people, like their goals change. So when I used to have employees, they would make minimum wage bartending, but they'd work up to their goals that would make it 100,000 a year. So it kind of just depends right now for me. So how I see things, it really just depends on what your end goal is and if you're actually chasing that goal to make that amount of money. Because right now, what you make, it doesn't always mean you're gonna have that forever. So
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
what I base it on.
Okay.
Amen.
Nicole, wait, did I already ask you the minimum? Okay, did I ask you the minimum?
No. For minimum, I agree with her. I think you just need to be able to support yourself.
Okay, so why don't we say 90,000?
All right.
We'll do that.
Back
That's realistically. Okay, yeah, again, this is the most, usually when we first started doing this, the delusional calculator, every woman was like 6'3" and $150,000 a year, not married, not obese, no kids. They were saying that. They were like, yeah, I meet guys like this all the time. I'm like, yeah, but can you get them to settle down? Or did you just meet them at a dance floor table at Hakkasan? So
I'm gonna exclude obese.
Okay, so we're gonna exclude obese.
All right.
We said 5'7", 90K a year. Let's keep going. Any color.
Any shade, any color, any
We
race.
said age. We said, can we go to 25 to 60? Let's go
25 to 60.
Yeah, let's go 25. Some they said 25. Let's do 25. Exclude married. Anybody don't mind dating married men?
Anybody want to be a homo?
Absolutely not.
Just kidding. Let's go.
You don't have anything else to say?
Absolutely not. We are girls, and we will not
We'll
do that.
exclude marriage. Okay.
Okay, this is going to be the largest number we've ever done. So let's see what it is. Okay, no.
Still probably 4%. Guarantee that's like 4%.
Any race, 5'7". Wow. What percentage of men do you think that is? So we say 5'7" or taller. We said 90,000.
Not obese,
Not
90,000.
obese, not married. What else?
Any race.
Any race.
I'll take obese.
I
I love a good fatty.
okay. You like a good fatty? Okay, what percentage of the population did we just name? What percentage of men?
I don't know, probably like 2%.
2%. What do you think, Frenchie?
I want to do the same with her, 2%.
2%. What do you think, Gypsy?
Yeah, I'm with like 10.
10%.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like 7.
7%. What do you think, Julia?
I think it's high.
Yeah, I think
90%
it's high too.
is like not
$90,000 and
$90,000 is nothing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say like 30%.
30%. Nicole, what do you think?
Well, if 16% of the population makes 100,000 or more, I'm gonna go with 12%.
12%. It is 2.8% of the population you guys just named.
Wow.
2.8%. Yes. Because like this is the problem that happens a lot of times for girls who live in like Los Angeles, New York, Miami, is that you'll encounter you and 70 other women, like we said, raw dogging. You and 70 other women will encounter the same guy who is 6'3" and does make $100,000 a year, and he'll date you, make you feel special. And in your mind, it's like, yes, I can get.
And that's actually crazy because you got to consider half of all men off top are overweight. Then of those half, they make $40,000, $50,000 a year. So now that 25%, half are going to be over 6 feet tall. So it's really to be a top 10% guy is to not be overweight, be in shape, and make close to $100,000 a year. You're golden. You can have any single girl you want. The tricky thing is when it comes to money and status, the higher you go up, the more shallow the girls will become, right? You're going to find the gold diggers, the succubus is trying to get you for the money. So you have to understand how women work, how dating works, female nature to understand that so you don't get destroyed. Because you work hard, right? You work hard to look good physically, mentally, spiritually, to make money. Delusional women list her most ridiculous icks in men. That's the problem when she says ick. Like, that's for children.
Example, a $7 water bottle at a themed park.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so theme parks, movie theaters, they've always been overpriced, regardless of 2026.
Why? $7 for a bottle of water is bullshit.
It is expensive, but refusing to buy it if you need it.
Well, hold on.
You know.
If you need water, I mean,
You gotta get it. You gotta get the water. You don't want to pass it out.
Complaining about it.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, obviously if we're looking at a mansion, you're saying like this is a pricey house, sure. But if like your things under $20 and that you're comparing it to like, you're saying that this item for what it's worth is a lot and repeatedly is kind of an ick. I think it's hotter if a guy's just like, who cares, we need water, like let's do it.
Well, so okay, but we need.
So she wants a guy who doesn't care about money at all. Oh, $7 water bottle? No worries, babe. I got it. Don't even question that. This just help support the inflation.
Differentiate between like, okay, you need the thing and he buys it anyways, or if he refuses to do it. But like, okay, he buys the fucking thing.
If it happens once,
and it's no, but if it's, I would be, look. Let's say I make millions of dollars, let's just say. And somebody wanted to sell me a bottle of water for $7. I can afford it. It's not a problem. $7 for a fucking bottle of water? That's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. Fuck that. Like, I don't know, somebody,
You also need to realize too, most women have zero concept of money because they get into everywhere for free, have things paid for them, food, drinks. So they don't understand the concept of money. Most women, pretty privileged.
So, I'm trying to think of an example. Another example. I mean, the bottle of water one's perfect.
But it's from past experiences that sometimes I just keep, this is expensive, this is expensive. I'm like,
Well, can I ask you this? Let's say you were a billionaire.
Yeah.
And so you could spend $1,000 on a water bottle from Costco. And by the way, it's like 40 for $5. You wouldn't, even as a billionaire, you wouldn't be like a $1,000 water bottle, like that's 10 cents in Costco, 20 cents at Costco.
Well,
that's bullshit.
I've heard billionaires on like podcasts and this and that say that they don't really know the price of like small things because they don't take care of that kind of thing.
Well, so that's different though. So that's just like.
So I think if I were a billionaire, I wouldn't even know what the price would be.
Well, I mean, you would have some, unless you've been a billionaire your entire life and you don't even look at the price. Even then, I mean, come on. Knowing what you know about water bottles, and if you got $1 billion tomorrow, you'd be like, what the fuck? $1,000 water bottle? That's
care.
Well, okay, but that's different. No, but that's different. So, okay. That would still be bullshit because you could go to the Costco and buy the water bottle, 40 water bottles for $5.
I would look at it and probably in my mind be like, weird but okay, but I wouldn't be like repeatedly.
Expenditure might manifest in other ways, like the house will be nicer, the vacations, or it might be for the benefit of our kids. Mm-hmm. Even though I might have the money I could certainly afford to buy her some very nice bag. So does that, what I just described, is that icky to you?
No, it's more so, let's say you can afford a somewhat decent car. Like, doesn't have to be a Bugatti, but like a good and functional Honda Civic, but you keep your shitty car that barely works for, I don't know, 15 years or something and upgrade when you can. Okay. It's kind of like,
You said if they have short legs, that gives you the
Yeah, like once I had a guy sleep over. Remember how he was like tried to cuddle with me?
Wait, can I have you
sorry.
To the mic?
He like tried to cuddle with me and then he put his legs near mine and then I just realized.
You know what we're gonna do?
We were in bed, he tried to like cuddle me a little bit and then I don't know, I just felt that his legs were much shorter than mine. I was like, oh, why did I bring him over? I was like hesitant from the...
Yeah, I mean, what does that say? What kind of girl are you bringing this guy over who you just met? Yeah.
Go, but I kind of just like, he asked, can I sleep over? Let me think about it. Okay. And then I was like...
legs.
Okay, but...
Yeah.
And then that happened. I was like, hell no. And then I kind of scooched over. And the crazy... Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
What else? What else is on your ick list?
Yeah.
If they have small hands and feet. Oh, bald and balding. Ick.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend was like bald/balding, but it did kind of low-key give me the ick,
Low-key gave you the ick. Okay.
Yeah.
So question, let's say, as you get older, you're going to be dating a guy who, say the guy you married.
Okay. Kind of a waste. So why is dating so expensive in the United States? Let's see. So before we even start this, I'm going to say if you cannot afford to go on dates, you shouldn't even date. I'm not saying you're dropping $100 a night on a date, but you should be able to spend $100 a week on dating. You should be able to go on 2 to 3 dates a week until you find the right girl. If you can't afford $100 a week to date, you should not date. If you can't afford it, go get a second job. Drive Uber, do DoorDash, deliver food, get a second job, third job, work overnight. The problem is so many of you guys don't want to work hard. You don't want to make more money. You want it just to be given to you. You want the girl to just show up at your door and be, hey, here I am, your dream girl. You have to go out there and earn it and work for it.
of all Americans say that they've been going on fewer dates due to the state of the economy. Nearly half of all single Americans think dating is not financially worth it. The average date in the US costs $189 as of February 2026, which is up 12.5%
That's such BS. If you're spending $189 on a date to like know somebody, nah.
from 2025. On top of that, 50% of Gen Z and 40% of millennials say the cost of dating gets in the way of reaching their financial goals.
Why would I spend $100 on someone I might not?
You're right. You should not spend $100. But the thing with dating is, what I did was you take her somewhere you want to go. If you want to go eat, take her to the place you want to eat at. Where irregardless of the outcome, if you see her again or it doesn't go well, at least you got to eat the food that you wanted. So go somewhere where you want to go that you're going to enjoy, irregardless of what happens with her.
Vibe with.
So we're seeing that there's this increased cost of living, and it's lowering our dating frequency and how we're seeing or perceiving dating. We're seeing people have fewer dinners out, and there's a lower tolerance for higher risk meetups.
Higher risk meetups. So 2026, it's not like dating's bad enough. We got to add these catchphrases to make people more scared to go on dates. High risk dates. There's no such thing as a high risk date. Obviously, there's an interest in the person. So how's that high risk? Irregardless if you meet that person ever again or talk ever again, you can learn and experience something from every single date that goes good or bad. That is up to you. How do you learn from that? Even if the date doesn't go well, you can learn something from it. How can you be better? How can you look out for girls to not make the same mistake? How do you not choose the same type of personality traits in this girl? You can learn something from every single date. There's no such thing as a high-risk date. That is just gay.
Dating apps are struggling to maintain monthly active users. Wall Street has noticed the top 2 dating app stocks, Match Group and Bumble, have been on the decline since the end of the pandemic.
So I think it's not just dating, but in general, life becoming more expansive can be an important part of dating and people's ability to find romantic matches.
I think that fundamentally we are looking at broad structural changes.
She's a former sociologist for Tinder and Bumble, so I want you to really understand that. Every single app, whether it's a dating app or non-dating app, every type of company, marketing, they all use sociologists and psychology to get people to be hooked on their product or service. So they get these people who understand human behaviors, human nature, the mental processes, psychology, the behavior, the thoughts, the patterns, to get you addicted to the product or the service. Every single company does this. Every single app does this. That's why you get hooked to things. That's how they can predict your purchasing power and the future purchases you're going to make, because they have teams of scientists, sociologists, psychologists to understand their market and how to sell more and make more money. They exploit you. That's why I really think if you can learn about sociology and psychology, you really see the world differently. You understand human nature at a different level. You can see these patterns. You can see how you're trying to be manipulated with marketing techniques and propaganda.
That influence people's marriageability or dateability perceptions, both of themselves and of other individuals. And that makes them disinclined to enter into the dating market. For young men in particular, their economic prospects and dating prospects are very much linked and have never, frankly, been more grim.
So what happens when...
What did people after World War II say when they came back from the war? Were they like, dating, it's so hard. No, they had a lot more kids than we did. After Vietnam, way more kids than we did. After the Great Depression, way more kids than we did. We just don't realize how good we got it.
Loves takes more financial risk. Almost everything has gotten more expensive in the past 6 years, and dating's no exception. The typical Gen Z American went on about 9 dates in 2025, and with Gen Z spending...
That's not enough. That's got to be 9 for the month.
$205 per date on average. That number includes everything, such as transportation, clothing, grooming, and what you're actually spending on the date.
Spending too much. That first date, cup of coffee, something simple, even a walk in the park, even a gym date. I've done every single one of those things. I've done the gym date, the coffee date, the walk in the park. If you are truly interesting and you're truly of value and interest, you don't need to go crazy. A walk in the park should be the greatest thing for her if you were that type of guy. If you're actually attracted to her physically, mentally, spiritually. If you make her comfortable, relaxed, you control that conversation, you dictate it, you're interesting, you actually have personality, things to talk about, you teach her things, you show her leadership, you can demonstrate your discipline by how you look physically. She can see your muscles, you're not overweight. Walk in the park, that should be the standard. But most guys have nothing to them. They're boring, they're weak, they're frail, they're feminized, they're liberalized, they're gay. They have nothing to talk about because their whole personality is video games, gambling, porn. So of course you have nothing to talk about. These guys will be on a date, be like, yeah. You just agree with everything the girl says because you have nothing going on in your life. You're like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah. You're not saying anything. You're just agreeing with her, trying to get laid or trying to make yourself seem like you're of some type of value.
That works out to roughly $1,845 per year. Gen Z now ranges from teenagers.
And look at this thing. Come on. These are the people that really run the media, run HR, run like the head of these organizations, man. And we wonder why like things are the way they are.
People in their late 20s. So there isn't one clean government income figure for the whole generation. But among full-time workers as of late 2024, median annual earnings were just under $40,000 for ages 16 to 24 and around $59,000.
And so look, that's important for guys. If you want to really stand out, you only need to make $70,000 or more a year. That's really not that much. It's really not. If you apply yourself, you can get to that in a couple of years. You find the right degree that can give you access to those type of jobs, or blue collar type job, or you work 2 or 3 jobs. Very easy to make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. You're just gonna have to not be lazy. You're gonna work 50, 60 hours a week, but who cares? It's money. If you can make more than that and you're not overweight and go to the gym, top 10% guy already. Because most guys are making $40,000 to $50,000 a year. That's like 60% of all guys. And half of those guys are overweight.
Ages 25 to 34. That means dating accounts for around 3 to nearly 5% of their annual income.
When the cost of living rises, people date much more defensively. They're taking fewer chances and fewer.
This chick loves these words. High risk dating, defensive dating. This is why there's so many, this propaganda and so many people, especially women, buy into this, that it's a high risk date. Ooh, you gotta be a defensive dater. Wow. It's not that serious. You get to know somebody as a human being. Just be personable.
Are formed. It's also going to take away from your mental budget, right? You're not going to be able to pay as much attention. You're probably not going to feel as much in you.
Why do they have the homosexuals out here? Come on.
To feel happy, to channel yourself in the best light. And that's going to take away from your interest in trying to go into these romantic partnerships as well.
There's such a higher chance that something doesn't click. And then there goes, you.
So both the guys that they interviewed for this, I want to really pay attention. Look how soft they look, how weak, how feminized, how liberalized they look. No muscular definition, very soft in the face, very high-pitched voice. And they wonder why they're single. It's not even like it's trying to make you better. I'm calling you higher.
$40 dinner bill down the drain on, someone that you might never talk to again.
On a first date in New York City, I would probably spend around $45 to $50. It's enough not to break the bank. I budget around $150 to $200 a month for dating.
I try to hedge my bets when it comes to first dates, and I go to something that is not necessarily an expensive date, just drinks or coffee. Something where, if I spend an extra $10 on this person that I may not like, it's not the end of the world.
That financial pressure is a difficult hurdle to clear. Money is an early, unavoidable part of dating.
I think you have to budget a little bit for it.
Fear of financial entanglement and financial commitment when it comes to dating can make people much slower to commit or even much quicker to retreat if there's a sign that something might be off. People may look at dating as being something that could theoretically be an investment. Financially, if you're putting in this money, you're hoping to get an investment in the same way you would if you were paying.
Look, it's not that serious. Y'all just need to relax. It's a date. You're going to meet a girl. If nothing happens of it, it's okay. You just move on. It's not this high risk date. It's not this defensive dating. It's not this investment like of some long term thing. Like you want to go into it with the best mindset, but it's just the way these people have been talking is why so many of you have so much anxiety in your day-to-day lives. You put all these things in your head: high risk dating, defensive dating. It's an investment. Nah, just go be a human being with this person. You talk, you share some stories, you see if you can connect. If the energy is good, that vibe, that's it. If something comes of it, great. If not, you just move on. You learn from the experience and you go on to what's next. You take from the good and the bad.
It would deal with entertainment. But dating is very dissimilar from picking a movie on a streaming service.
Paying for the dates themselves is not the only cost. 35% of dating app users say they have paid for one of the platforms.
Many of these apps work on what's called a premium strategy, even though you can sign up for free. In order to be able to take advantage of some of the more desirable features, you might have to pay a subscription price.
From the end of World War II until 2013, the most popular way for straight couples to meet in the US was through friends. But now the vast majority are meeting online.
One of the things that online dating platforms they've managed to bring to our life is a greater range of people. They tend to generally increase our pool size. And sometimes that can be a bit deceiving in the sense that it seems like you have a lot of different options, but it's not necessarily the case, because in general, there tends to be an imbalance in terms of mutual interest between the two sides of the platform.
I think it pushes a lot of quantity. There's been many times where like, I'll go on first date with a girl and I'll just be like, I don't feel like we vibe. And that's okay.
Even though you might be seeing and potentially starting conversations with many different people, you're most likely not going to go into anything beyond those initial conversations with those people on the apps.
I think I paid for like Hinge for like a month. I think it's the gamification. Psychologically, it does work. That you're like, oh, you're going to only get seen by X amount of people in a day. But if you pay us a tiny bit more.
Look, obviously, everything is deceptive. It's meant to make money. It's meant to make profit. If you get off the app and you find somebody, they lose a customer. So the best thing you got to do is, how do you make yourself more valuable? How do you make yourself that premium person without having to spend unnecessary money? It's you lose weight, you build muscle, you go to the gym, you lift weights every day, you run every single day, you eat the right foods, you eat enough of the foods so you can build muscle. So many guys come in at 1,400, 1,800 calories. No, 2,500, 2,600 calories, build muscle, get some strength. You're still going to be running, so you're not going to get overweight. You want to have a low body fat percentage, 8, 9%. Self-educate yourself, read books, or go to school for the right things. Be developed mentally, spiritually, physically, connect with God. All these things will help you become better and stand out from the rest.
You can see more people. So I think at a certain point you're like, okay, let's do this for a month and see where it goes.
All three of the top apps provide different tiers for paid plans. Each tier unlocks various features such as advanced filtering and being able to see who has liked your profile without having to swipe. One major complaint about dating apps is that pricing can be opaque. In a 2024 class action lawsuit, Match Group was accused of deceptive practices tied to subscriptions, in-app purchases, hidden algorithms, and what the complaint describes as artificial bottlenecks that push users toward paid features. Match has denied wrongdoing in the case. When asked to participate in this report, a Match Group spokesperson told CNBC, "The vast majority of users on our freemium apps, including Tinder and Hinge, use the platform for free, and we designed those experiences to be engaging, valuable, and complete on..."
No, they don't. It's all for money. If you want to get anywhere on a dating app, you got to pay. That's just how it is. That's the reality. They set the algorithm up to be that way. So
subscriptions are optional and provide additional tools for those who want more control or a more efficient experience. But they are not required to have success or make meaningful connections. We're focused on helping users make meaningful connections that ultimately lead to meeting in real life.
If there are different price levels, that will be an example of what we refer to as price discrimination. Price discrimination is the concept of trying to set a few different price levels for different versions of the product that you are getting that might be in your best interest. Dynamic pricing would be changing prices over time, whereas price discrimination is across different people. We create different versions of the product and we sell them these different versions of the product with different features, or in other contexts, it could be different quantities packaged together.
In other words, not
It's the same thing as microtransactions in the sense of like video games. If you play video games ever, it's all microtransactions. Any type of anything you do online, there's always microtransactions.
pricing difference is the same thing. Some of it may just be different tiers or packages. But consumer advocates and plaintiffs have argued some dating apps also use more opaque pricing practices that are hard for users to understand. That same lawsuit also points to swipe limits and premium features that promise greater visibility or better odds. And Match's own subscription screens show how many core features are locked behind paid plans.
If you are a longer term consumer, and of course I retain higher.
Look, if you don't want to pay for it, just don't use it. It's really that simple.
Thanks from you, I maintain a higher profit over time.
It's a system of pay to play, and if you have the money, then you will be able maybe to get the partner, or you will be able to have more success on dating apps.
When asked to participate in this report, Bumble told CNBC, similar to others in the industry, we use a freemium model. Our focus is for the free experience to provide a safe and high quality experience for our members. And there are countless couples who have found each other this way. Our paid features cater to those in our community who are looking for a more tailored experience. Ultimately, our business thrives on real recommendations of people who found love IRL on Bumble. That's why we're focused on building features that help members build authentic online connections that can grow into real-life relationships. Even as dating apps ask users to spend more, Wall Street has been questioning whether the business is really working. JP Morgan labeled Bumble one of its top short ideas for 2026, arguing that user engagement was still under pressure and that revenue could fall by double digits. Then in March, it upgraded the stock to neutral, saying the app was starting to stabilize and that a relaunch, AI features, and other product changes could help. One way the dating apps are pivoting is getting into in-person dating events. Bumble launched Bumble IRL in 2022. Hinge announced.
Yeah, the IRL, the in real life, it's coming back because the pendulum's swinging, right? Since 2020, the COVID lockdowns, everything's been online and digitized for the last 6 years. So now we're going back. The pendulum is swinging the other way. In person is the way. And then it'll come back in the middle, and then 20 years be digital, and then it's always going to be these swings.
One More Hour in 2023, and Grindr partnered with the London music festival Mighty Hoopla. Tinder also announced in March 2026 a new in-app feature called Events, which the app says will help singles meet offline.
One of the big business problems is breaking ice and helping people to get off the app in a successful way. This is almost all.
Yeah, they got to figure out how do they monetize everything, right? It's all about monetization.
Challenge. It's difficult to monetize conversations. If people are getting off the app, right? Let's say that we meet, we exchange phone numbers, we're no longer communicating on the app. If I can somehow monetize their offline meetings, make their offline meetings, at least the first couple ones, part of an event where I can either charge them something or I can maybe make money from sales of drinks or something else, then it also helps me to extend the period of time where I can make money from users. So it's part of a good monetization strategy as well.
These in-person events aren't organic and they do cost money, but there seems to be a demand to get out into the real world, especially for Gen Z and millennials. There are growing signs that they want to meet people more organically, such as through mutual friends, at an activity or class, or at an event or a bar. Beyond dating apps, third spaces and membership clubs are also becoming a booming business. So it may be a trend that the people who can pay to meet others in more intentional spaces are the ones who get the best chances at finding a connection.
They try to dramatize it, but it's always been that way. Matchmakers, pay to play, whoever has the most money will get the most access to these things. So that's how this thing goes. So we looked at why men are not committing to women because what are they bringing to the table, right? Are they feminine? Are they submissive? Are they of a woman with virtue? Do they actually want something that aligns with your values? Is it traditional? Is it Christian? If you're truly a Christian, you want a woman who fits those values. And most modern women do not. We talked about the delusion calculator, how the majority of women want a guy that makes $100,000 a year, over 6 feet tall, not overweight. And so just, you got to remember this. Half of all men are overweight. Of those half, they're single dads. So it's 25%. Now, how many of them are going to be attractive to you? So it's never been easier to be an above average guy. You just lose weight, go to the gym every day, run, eat the right foods, eat enough foods to build muscle. In a year, you will look completely different. Make good money, go back to school for the right things that'll give you a path, okay? Not all of college is a scam. If you can choose the right degrees and the programs truly in need that stand the test of time, you can still find good ones. 30 to 40% of those degrees will get you to $80,000, $90,000 a year. So do that. Or go to a trade school, plumber, electrician, be a cop, be a firefighter. Those are $60,000, $70,000 salaries. So it's never been easier to be above average guy. You can achieve that in 3 to 4 years long term. So stop making excuses. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this. So the point of this, just take the advice, become better. Don't just live on the internet. Don't have this hate towards yourself or towards women. Do not blame anybody but yourself for where you're at in life. Take accountability and try to develop a relationship with God, with Christ. Look at the Bible. Use it as a framework, as a guide to your life, and that'll help you. All right, God bless.